Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Whoa, what's that?
Oh, that's just my telephone.
Are you maybe not as up to date as you could be?
Hello? Oh, hello, Elsie.
Head to Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, and check out their selection of top-of-the-line smartphones.
Here you go, Grandma.
Oh, isn't this lovely? Whoa.
Visit Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Moosomin today. Check out their new renovations and say hi to the gang.
Hello?
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM. Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
We're really rolling, now we're on our way. Our pride is showing, yeah, it's growing every day. We've got that rider pride, a feeling deep inside. It's rider pride, rider pride. We've got that rider pride. You know we just can't hide that rider pride.
It's Friday. It's Sportscage for Nelson Homes. Little vintage. That song's just got 1980s written all over it. Doesn't it make you feel driving in a station wagon on a country road? Riders, Lions tomorrow. We're going to get into a lot of that coming up on the program. It's Barney with you. Colson's in the pocket. We're going to have a number of guests pop in and on the Western Pizza guest hotline today. All of our guests join us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek food that you love. You can always have your say, engage, be a part of the show on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, 936-6262. From power tools to gardening tools, generators, welders, to skid steers. They got it all at Prairie Land Rentals in Regina, 600 Albert Street. You get to deal with the owner. We possibly have some Red Sox tickets later. Colson's saying we'll see how many likes we get because we're back streaming today. Yesterday we were down, and then at sportscage.com through our YouTube channel, we are back streaming. We have a new prop too that we got yesterday. Okay, so we Red Sox tickets. We'll start with Red Sox tickets. We'll see how it goes. If you're watching the stream, sportscage.com through YouTube. We'll do this a couple times maybe during the day. We got a new, when Colson has a question, he's going to put on the new Croft Electric bucket hat. You got to text in and let us know what color it is. Red Sox tickets. Any game this season. Regina Red Sox are in Okotoks again tonight. They lost 9-3 last night. That was quick. You didn't give them much, Colson. That was a real quick buzz. As for guests today, Luke Mullander standing by. They're in Vancouver. We'll talk to him about the game tomorrow. Mark Johnson from Play 92, also the in-stadium announcer, extraordinaire, entertainer for the Riders. He's going to come in with BK Waldu, and we are going to talk about, I use this word a little bit too much, but unbelievable initiative in Regina that BK and his team are doing. I've read about it. I can't wait to talk to him about it. It's exciting. and something that's probably a long time coming. So that's at about the bottom of the hour here in hour one. Hour two, how about we go a little hockey with veteran NHL coach, also played, Bruce Boudreau. He's very good. You see him on NHL Network and TSN and all that. He's coming to Regina next month with Arash Madani at the Royal Regina Golf Course. A couple tables left for that event. It's going to be great. Bruce is going to join us in hour two. We're also going to hear from Saskatchewan Roughriders Tommy Neild, likely making his Rider debut this week after battling an injury since training camp. Hour three, Rider legend Scott Schultz from Moose Jaw is going to join us. And then another edition of Prairie Golf Gems. Today, we are going to look at the Thompson Lake Golf Course. I had no idea. Saw a picture of it. Somebody sent it in on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Said, hey, you guys should focus in on this course one day. Sent us a picture, and I'm like, well, that's not in Saskatchewan. Sure enough, it is. It's an aerial view. So that's in hour three. And just hot off the press, we'll run this in a bit here. Or when do you want to run it? Right away? Okay, we'll run it in a bit. Regina's Luke Cote. Young Luke Cote, Southern Arkansas University, works at the Royal Regina. He won the Provincial Amateur Golf Championship, just completed a few hours ago in Humboldt, Saskatchewan. I just got off the phone with Luke. Great interview. Wait till you hear about his round yesterday. So he's got his name on the Provincial Junior Golf Championship trophy for Saskatchewan and now the Amateur. That's a big deal. If you're a golfer in the province, you get it. Huge deal. So we got Luke standing by. Lots to go. Let's start with a little Coach Mace Coulson as we get ready tomorrow. Sam Emelis, he's back in the lineup for the Riders. If you haven't heard, that's a good news. That's good. Let's be honest. Tavon Campbell back in the fold for the Riders. But Coach Mace was asked about bully ball. It's being used by the team. Does that directive mean that they just have to be more physical?
It's just, I think, just part of the mentality of the team. You know, we want to be known as a physical football team in all three phases. And, you know, unfortunately for us, we felt that we didn't show up in that manner last week. So, yeah, you know, it's just a style of play, just, you know, dominating your one-on-ones. So, again, I think, the guys kind of want to get back to that.
Bully ball. I like that. T-shirts, Rider Store, heads up. We talked about this all week, too, with the guests that we've had. Some of you have been chiming in on the text line. What the Stamps, how they dissected things against our defense last week. I get a little worried, right? I'm a little worried going into tomorrow. Nathan Rourke's a solid QB. So Mace talking about, are there changes that have to be made as the defensive coordinator in prepping for the BC offense and Nathan Rourke? Sorry.
Nathan, he's incredible. He sees the field really well. He sees the shells well. He makes quick decisions. And obviously, like we talked about the other day, you know, if he doesn't like what he sees, he can go ahead and take off himself and move the chains, right? So you got to play him for everything, man. He's a really good quarterback, and you know, obviously gets a lot of love in this league, and rightfully so. He's an excellent quarterback. So you know, some things, the way you look at it might change a little bit, but ultimately, same thing. Whatever the heck we call, man, we just got to execute it.
And then what about, have they shored up any of the holes in the zone defense from last week?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's just, you know, that's the gift and curse sometimes of being a zone defense, is if they find them quick, that they're going to be able to capitalize. but also, even with our man coverage, we just had busts. So a lot of it was mental busts, and some of it was, VA was making excellent throws, as I'm sure, Nathan's going to have a few that's going to make people say, oh my goodness, that's that Rourke guy. But ultimately, if we can anticipate and make plays on the ball or understand where it's going, we have to shore up, and we have obviously talked about it, but we got to tighten up back there.
What are y'all thinking out there? 936-6262. They're going to shore it up. They're going to tighten it up. Nathan Rourke in Vancouver, BC Place Stadium. We hope so, right? How much can they change things up? Or will BC change things up from the game plan from 3 weeks ago, Mace talks about?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, we'll see. I wish I knew everything that they would change up, then it would make life easier for everybody. But, we'll see. You can anticipate some things, but ultimately we got to see it in game and make in-game adjustments if need be. But, certainly a lot of those guys that are playing outside of their quarterback, we got to see. So there's some things that we were successful at even in that game. There's some things that we weren't successful at, whether that's tightening it up or changing it up. Ultimately, I guess we'll see on game day. But, you can't always just be stagnant.
All right, that's Coach. So we get ready for tomorrow. Looking at the Prairie Land Rentals text line, top one there, Gary in Winnipeg. He's sending in a prediction already. We're not playing pick the score today, but I don't mind it. Prediction. And he's going Riders 24, BC 13. The only thing is I think BC is going to score more than 13 points. I think so. Anyone watch that game last night? Montreal and Toronto? And Dustin Nielsen, I was going to send him a text and be like, buddy, Chikai. He talked about early on, he's like, anybody that has the under in this game looking good, because it was like 4-4. It's like a hockey game. And then I took 51 as the over-under. I should have waited for 51.5. It ended 51, so it's a push. But Montreal comes back. Toronto loses it. And it was just the play at the end of the game. So this is the run where Alexander, who, by the way, is now tied with Danny McManus 8-0, start in his first 8 starts in the CFL. He pulls his hamstring there, though, too. Pops a bit. So see how that goes. But Derek Sloka from the Argos punches the ball out. Montreal, I forget who it was, running it in, and then they recover it in the end zone. And I'm like, yeah, under 51. Let's go, kids. Let's go get Slurpees. And then, for some reason, Nick Arbuckle drops back to pass and looks at his first read, and then looks at his second read, and then looks at his third read, and then maybe goes back to the second. I'm like, what are you doing? Throw the ball away or run it. And then he fumbles Montreal takes over. And then Montreal goes in and scores 50. And then they went for 2 points. Didn't get it. So 25-26. It was a very entertaining end of the game. No doubt about that. The first little bit, maybe a little slow. Right? But that's okay. I was still entertained. Hey, Shawshank Redemption didn't do well in theaters when it came out, remember? It wasn't like the greatest movie of all time until we all started watching it after. No one went to watch that show in the movie theater. Yeah, it was good. Okay, some sad news here before we go to break. The town of Dodsland, Saskatchewan, lost their hockey rink last night in a fire. If you haven't heard it, it's all over social media. We retweeted it early this morning from the Sportscage Twitter feed through the Monday Nooner. Yeah. Anytime a small town loses anything, the cafe, the hotel, the home hardware, whatever, losing a hockey rink, and in 2025, erecting a new one, putting a new one in, not easy and not cheap. So that is, a lot of you out there listening are either from small towns or you're in a small town right now or going back to a small town. You know, if you lost your town rink how devastating that would be. Awful news. Awful news. For the province of Saskatchewan, especially the town of Dodsland and surrounding areas. I think there was a shutout, like plenty corroborate firefighters from a number of neighboring towns came in to help. And, just they couldn't do it. So the mayor of Dodsland says they're going to try and do everything they can to bring it back, but that's going to be tough. So sad news there, for sure. Let's go to a quick break. We come back. Luke Mullander standing by in British Columbia. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming again at sportscage.com and on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM.
Don't miss the McDougall Auctioneers Unreserved Pre-Harvest Egg Sale closing July 23rd at 10 a.m. This auction is one of the largest Claas Combine auctions to hit the unreserved market in 2025. Up for auction, case 2016 to 2018. Claas models 590R, 740, 750 TT, 760 TT, 8700, 8700 TT, and 8800 TT, 2009 to 2021. John Deere and case headers and more. That's the McDougall Auctioneers Unreserved Pre-Harvest Egg Sale closing July 23rd at 10 a.m. For more information, visit McDougallAuction.com.
Did you know over 1.3 million homeowners call on Reliance for their water heater needs? With over 140,000 five-star online reviews and over 60 years experience, you could say Reliance Heath are water heater experts. Switch to Reliance Heath today. They'll give you $200 plus standard installation is included. For all your hot water needs, call on Reliance. Visit waterheaterrentals.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
The Regina Rams have been a football club since 1954, a team built on grit, pride, and tradition. With 70 seasons under their belt, the Rams' legacy runs deep, impacting thousands of fans, players, coaches, and families. You don't have to go far to find someone who has a connection to the team, a memory, a moment, and a story to tell. Join us for the Rams' 71st season. Whether it's your first game or your 100th, this year's story is still being written. Get your game tickets today at reginarams.com. It's football time. Go Rams.
So since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
Hear that? What a tackle.
That big crunch wasn't from the tackle, Chris. That's the KFC $4.95 End Zone Big Crunch and $7.95 End Zone Big Crunch combos only on game days.
The End Zone Special available on Rough Rider game days at participating KFC Sask locations.
You know something? It's like selling a six-pack with only 5 beers in it. Wood Country Woody here, reminding you that unlike some other places, Wood Country Garage Packages contains everything you need, right from the start, including appearance-grade lumber, all your nails and screws, and walk-in doors with cladded jambs. Building a garage? It's one and done with Wood Country.
Your home is your castle.
In McLean, Estevan, and Tisdale. Shop online. wood-country.com.
All the fun's at the Creelman Fair, July 19th. Start the day off with a pancake breakfast from 7:30 to 9:30 at Memorial Hall, followed by Prairie down Main Street at 10. Enjoy the craft and trade show, horse and cattle shows, kids midway, concession booths, beach volleyball and slow pitch, laser tag, bingo, beer gardens, live entertainment, beef on a bun meals from 6 to 7 p.m. and more. Admission's $5. Kids 6 and under are free. That's the Creelman Fair, July 19th.
This is Sports Cage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. 620 CKRM.
For Nelson Holmes on Friday, Tomorrow's a Rider game day, so don't forget all participating KFCs in Saskatchewan. $4.95 end zone Big Crunch, $7.95 Big Crunch combo. All participating KFC locations in Saskatchewan. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Standing by patiently is our color commentator on the Rider broadcast, Luke Mullander, who is, are you in BC? Are you guys leaving, Luke? How are things going there?
No, actually, I am in Saskatoon in the airport right now. I was at back to the Batoche celebrations with the Métis Nation today and visiting with some of our friends out there like President Glenn McCallum. So enjoyed a nice day and celebrating the importance of Batoche, but now headed to BC to hopefully witness a Rider win.
I biked to Batoche once, our grade 8 class. Looking back now, they would never allow that. Inner city school from Saskatoon, biking all the way to Batoche, spent the night in Rostern. For some reason, that was allowed back then. Batoche is a fantastic place. Lots of history there. The Riders need to do what compared to last week to win this game tomorrow?
They need to play a little bit better up front. I think that that was the first time that we saw our defensive front pushed around. It was the first time that we saw our offensive line really struggle in spots against a pass rush. So I think it obviously starts and ends up front. So you got to play better up there. Got to stop having the coverage breakdowns and mental errors. I think that they were hit with against Calgary, but better execution all around, obviously. So this is going to be an important game, and especially in the West, where things are kind of turning on their head. We saw a great game in Montreal. I was listening to you talk about it leaving, and the Argos getting losing that in the last second. That was, it just goes to show you how close a CFL game can be, but more importantly that every second and every last minute counts, and you got to be playing hard. So it's going to be a good game though, because again, BC plays a lot different with Nathan Rourke in there. They had a ton of success both on the ground and in the air against Edmonton, but that's Edmonton, right? And the nice thing about losing your first one, especially at home to a good Calgary team, is you have lots to watch on film for the whole week, right? You get to evaluate yourself against a really good opponent. You get to see where you need to make your corrections, and more importantly, where you can play better.
Who are you excited or curious to watch now that's back in the lineup? Let's go. Sam Emelis is back in. We're going to see Tommy Neild maybe as well, or Dre McCray on the return game. Any of those really interest you and intrigue you?
Yeah, I think Dre McCray is an interesting guy. I really liked what he did in training camp. Thought that he did everything he could to earn a roster spot. And with Mario Alford going down, I think Dre McCray gives us a guy that doesn't give us any drop off in the return game. I think that he's got a potential to break the game open here on Saturday. And again, when you look at the offensive and defensive struggles that Riders went through last week, it just shows you how important that special teams phase of the game is, especially if you're able to flip the field and give your opponent a tough starting position on their drives and give your teammates a great starting position on their drive. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Dre McCray. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing a bounce back from the trenches.
Defensive guy, let's say you're coaching the team, you're coaching the Riders. Do you play a little bit more man against Nathan Rourke, against BC, or do you kind of just maybe try and pressure it more from the zone?
Listen, I don't like zone defenses, especially in the CFL. I think that the field's too wide. So unless you're playing sort of those low zone, but again, I would always prefer to play man. I mean, when you look at the best defensive coordinators in the game, whether it be college, whether it be professionals, doesn't matter what side, that all of those defensive coordinators will tell you. You got to have a defense that can make a one-on-one tackles, but also be able to play man defense. It makes everything easier. So especially in the CFL, again, you got such a wide field. It makes those 2nd and 5 throws so much more difficult to defend. I just feel like, especially in the Saskatchewan Roughriders case, I feel like it's been a weak point in the strategic rollout of the scheme.
BC's been known to give up a little more on the ground than some teams. Would you be absolutely shocked if the Riders don't stay with trying to establish that run game?
Well, it was interesting. You didn't see it a lot from AJ Ouellette last week, right? And I think that it's easy to say, oh, man, well, we didn't run the ball at all, right? And that was such a critical part of our offense. I think that you come into this game really understanding that, A, this is a copycat league. So BC is going to be like, yeah, Calgary did a great job of taking AJ Ouellette out of the game. Let's do some of the same stuff, our scheme, right? So I think the running game is always going to be a focus here for opponents moving forward, just seeing the success that the Riders had offensively when they had a good ground game going, right? So and it's a fair thing to do, right? Like if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm able to take an important critical phase of an offensive attack away and make the team close or get the team closer to being one-dimensional, that's what I want to do, right? So I would imagine that BC is going to load up that front. It's not going to be an easy task for AJ Ouellette. But I think that the other side of that, though, is never shying away from who you are, right? And understanding that, again, if you get down, it doesn't mean that you have to go to the air. And I'm not saying that they did that in Calgary against Calgary last week, but I'm just saying if you see a concentrated effort by the BC Lions tomorrow to stop the run, it does not mean go away from it, right? It means just communicate with the guys. Guys, look, man, they're loading up the box, for instance. Look, guys, they're bringing some pressures here on first down to try to get more guys at the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to block better. We're going to have to utilize the screen game, maybe things like that, right? Yeah. You just have to recognize, but you can't get too far away from what made you win those 4 games and what made you such an effective team offensively, and that is the run game. So maybe run in Kadeem Carey out there a little bit more, but just continue to pound away at the thing, and because that's essentially the team that you told everybody that you want to be in the first 4 games.
Yeah, and like you said, football in general, it's a copycat sport, so you got to throw something. Yeah, no, got to go throw something new at them. What are they not? What are they not? Right? I mean, what are they not preparing for?
Yeah, I mean, they know you by now, right? Like you're on film for five games now. You know what I mean? So you're not going to surprise too many people, right? But again, you got to take advantage of those looks. So I think that again, BC took advantage of a really, really struggling Edmonton team. Obviously, at home in BC, BC always plays well, and it's a tough place to get a win, but it is a winnable game. You're just going to have to play a little bit better because Nathan Rourke is a different team, or they are a different team with Nathan Rourke.
Controlled environment too. Brett Lawther, let's go. Let's get on a roll here. Before we leave, I got to ask you, are you as intrigued as me of tonight's game in Winnipeg? What happens between Calgary and Winnipeg?
Totally. I feel like Calgary goes in there and potentially makes the statement of the first third of the year. Like, that game last week, I mean, we billed that as potentially the best game of the year, and it was not because of the way Calgary dominated the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But I think Calgary's got a great opportunity to go in there.
Yeah.
And if they dominate the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Winnipeg after what they did to Winnipeg the first time, like 3 weeks ago, wow, that just puts Calgary in a new stratosphere, and it's good to see because again, guys like me, I would have paid. You know how we always do the betting before the game, Barney. We're pretty good. We're on a roll right now. But I mean, I would have bet all my money that Calgary continued to regress here, and so far in that first third of the year, they haven't regressed any, and they've actually grown. So it's good to see, and it's good for the league, and it's good for the West especially.
Yeah, I'm staring at this -4 Bombers favorite. And I'm like, I might.
They're favored by -4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, hammered right. Yeah, man. If I wasn't sitting in the airport talking to you, I'd be hammering it right now. Yeah, absolutely.
How about last night? I take the under 51, and it ends up 26-25. So it's a push. Thank God they went for 2. And but that game, I was like, okay. Have a safe flight my man. I think Dave still has a running tab at the little lounge there. If you want to go pick up a wine or anything before your flight.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do some work here. I'm gonna do my game charts here, sitting in the airport, and then we'll get on the plane.
Okay, I appreciate you. Let's talk next week.
All right, man. See you soon.
Okay. Color commentator Luke Mullander getting ready for tomorrow's game right here on 620 CKRM. We start everything at 2 p.m. Tune in and listen, everyone. All right, we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, Mark Johnston runs around the stadium, does an entertaining job at Rider Game, and BK Waldu. It's something new. It's something very, very cool in Regina. It's the Sports Cage. We are the home of the Riders. We're the home of local sports on 620 CKRM.
Congratulations on your recent graduation. If becoming a registered nurse is in your future, complete your entire University of Saskatchewan Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree in 10 locations in Saskatchewan. If you choose another career path, apply the credits you complete during your first year to other programs. What do you have to lose? Be what the world needs, a registered nurse. Visit admissions.usask.ca.
2 more big sales coming next week at 2sauctioneers.ca in Indian Head. An antique and vintage radio collection from one collector, over 300 of them. Other antiques and collectibles. On Tuesday, we got a sale with antiques, collectibles, sports cards, vintage toys, glassware, and much, much more. We've added another equipment sale for August the 26th. If you want to get something into that one, give us a call and get it booked in now. Easy to register, easy to bid. Check it all out at 2sauctioneers.ca, online auction house in Indian Head.
Calling all skilled heavy-duty mechanics. Core Industrial Services has an exciting opportunity for you. They're hiring a full-time heavy-duty mechanic to join them at their 9,000-square-foot shop in Rocanville, Saskatchewan. As a heavy-duty mechanic, you're responsible for performing maintenance and repairs on a wide range of equipment, from heavy machinery to light trucks and more. At Core Industrial Services, they believe in the power of teamwork. Apply today on their website at coreindustrial.ca or call them at 306-745-4844. Core Industrial Services, where expertise meets opportunity. Apply now.
Nelson Homes is having a summer blowout sale on quick possession homes that you don't want to miss out on. Get free delivery anywhere in Saskatchewan on select in-stock show homes and spec home RTMs. For more information, visit their website, homes.nlc.ca. Or for general information, call 1-800-661-6534. That's the Nelson Homes Summer Blowout Sale. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
At the cabin or on the farm, Access Rural Internet gives you speed and service you can rely on. Right now, get Access Rural Internet for as low as $69.95 a month for 24 months, including free service calls by our local techs, a free Wi-Fi router, and a strong, reliable signal matched by our strong, reliable customer service. Great service is never far away with Access Rural Internet. Visit myaccess.ca to book your free site survey.
Farmers, grain, poultry, cattle, barn, house, and more. A generator is a necessity. Whether you need to keep operating during an outage, keep water bowls from freezing, grain drying during winter, or need power at a remote location, you need a generator from Shorty Generators. Now is the season to buy or service your generator on the farm to be sure you always have power when and where you need it. And Shorty services all makes and models, including PTO generators. Shorty Generators. Power where you need it. ShortyGenerators.ca.
If your garage door is running a little rough, you don't need to be talked into something that you don't need.
Sir, what you need is the new gigantic-esque, voluminous, astronomical, ginormous, gargantuan, exquisite air garage.
Just call Busy Bee Doors, the local experts who have been in business for many, many doors. They can fix or replace any commercial or garage door.
Wait. With me, you get a little garage door keychain, please.
Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
Hee-haw! It's the Ram Rodeo at Crestview Chrysler. That's right, folks. We got Ram trucks coming out the wazoo. So we're wrangling prices down with discounts of up to $18,200 buckaroos. Can you believe it? Ram Bighorns going for only $65 and change plus tax, or get 0% financing over 72 months on most models. We also have an impressive selection of cars and SUVs. But the Ram Rodeo's on right now at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Regina.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. Welcome back to Sportscage. Connect with the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage on Friday for Nelson Holmes. I teed it up. I'm going to pause the Rider chat for a bit, and we're going to talk to BK Waldu and Mark Johnson. Yes, he is the entertainer, runs around the stadium, does an unbelievable job. They're both in studio with me here. If you're watching the stream, you're going to get a chance to see them both. BK, Mark got me onto this, did some reading. I thought it was fascinating. You started Bring 'em Up.
Correct, yeah.
In Regina. Elevator pitch, quick, just, explain to people what it is and what you're doing in the community.
Perfect. Bring 'em Up is a foundation that me and a girl by the name of Bree Burgess started. What we want to do is just destroy all the barriers in between sports for refugee kids. Now, the barriers would be, one, financially, obviously, and number two would be just the communication aspect of it all. How are these parents that are new to the country that have two jobs have even the time to take their kids to sports or have the time to fill out an application form, right? And that's where we come in and try to help them with that.
How many, let's say we're just talk about Regina here, in a year, how many refugee kids, children would be out looking for an avenue to maybe play some sports?
Oh, thousands.
Really?
Correct. Now, in open door societies, what I work with, the amount of immigrants, the amount of refugees that are landing on a regular basis, it's slowed down a little bit now, but in the last 4 or 5 years, it's mind-boggling.
And it's funny because, I talk about it here when we this sounds cheesy, but we are so, it's okay.
Rule number 1, turn the phone on silence.
Yeah. But Mark, hey, well, we're so lucky. You and I grew up here. You grew up in Regina. We grew up in Saskatoon. Mm-hmm. And I think I was fortunate enough to grow up in the inner city where I got to see. I had a best friend from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Lots of First Nations friends. A Korean family. And they all started playing, we got them into fastball and then street hockey and stuff like that. Man, we have it really, really good and comfortable here. You think about landing here as a family, like you said, 2 jobs or whatever it is, it would be extremely hard, mind-boggling to try and navigate everything.
It would be, yeah. And for BK, like he can talk a bit on the story because at the Bring 'em Up Gala, which happened a few months ago, I had the opportunity to chat with him on stage, and he came here because his dad was here, and the whole story is incredibly fascinating. But you basically went from, living this life of luxury almost, right, to then coming here and not really having much money. So that opportunity to play sport, because we all know sports are expensive, wasn't exactly there for you.
No.
And so go us through this story, because this is in the 80s?
Yeah. So my mom and dad got married in the early 70s. My dad was a big colonel in the army, and the war breaks out. My dad doesn't want to be in a fight. He's fought all his life. He just wants to get out. They won't let him out. So he sneaks to a country called Sudan from Eritrea. From Sudan, he gets sponsored to France by the church. From France, he comes to good old Regina. Now, that's a funny story. It's either Australia or Regina. So he picked Regina, Saskatchewan.
Too hot. Too many snakes down there.
Yeah,
Poor
true.
guy, he had no clue. Anyways, so my mom and I are in hiding now back home. And I'm gonna somebody
This
take
guy's a popular guy.
Somebody take this thing from me. Now I'm in.
Are you on the radio?
We're hiding back home with my mom, and so he had to help us flee. He got a couple of connections that he had. So my mom and I. So I'm 6 years old at this time. We're through the desert to Sudan, going overnights. From Sudan, he sponsors us to Canada Regina, Saskatchewan. So when I get to Regina, obviously, you know, we didn't know anybody. Back in those days, you guys, there was no colored people, or, you know, it'd be the odd,
not many.
The odd, you know, the odd Asian family or the odd Hispanic family, but the rest was, you know. So that being said, I got super lucky. I had my neighbor was a football god in Regina by the name of Randy Shaw. This guy was a football coach, god at the time. And luckily, he was my neighbor, and he kind of funded my way to play football. From that point on, I played, you know, bantam, pee-wee. I played with the Regina Rams, and then come follow my brothers. They're both high school stars. They played with the Thunder in Regina here to the U of S, and then Paul. I mean, obviously in the CFL and 3 Grey Cup rings. But I'll tell you something, you guys. Yes, my kids and you guys had it good growing up, because back in our day, I mean, no funds, no lack of English communication. So, you know, I got super lucky, and I count my blessings that I met this guy.
Well, can I jump in for a sec?
Yeah.
Tell the story about playing football and how your parents didn't know or didn't want you to, and what you did with your equipment.
So my mom, of course, and my dad wanted me to study no football. Absolutely zero football. You're not playing. So when Randy Shaw asked me to play, he said to ask my parents. Of course, I went to Randy and I said, "Oh yeah, we're good to go." Yeah. The only thing
said it's okay.
Yeah. The only thing is, we got no money. Yeah. So you gotta help me out. So what I would do is I'd go, you know, to football practice, and then I would hide my jersey, my equipment, my cleats in these bushes that we had in Gladmer Park. So I'd hide them in there all night. Hopefully it doesn't rain, because if it does rain, I'm screwed for the next day.
So good.
Good.
That is unbelievable, because you know, present day as well, like, you didn't know, you didn't have any means. It was difficult in the 80s.
Yeah.
Nowadays, with the cost of everything, and it's not like, okay, we got to play in the league now. It seems like every kid wants to go play in this, you know, we're doing this camp, or we're going to this academy, we're going to this and all that. Where these, you know, refugees and people that are coming to our country. The other thing is, a sport like football is so foreign. Like soccer, international, everyone can play. You need a ball. You don't even need, you know, basketball, similar to that. Yeah. But there's a lot of sports that we have here that are just, you know, what is this? How do I compete? How do I do this? So when you see these the new Canadians and the refugees that are coming here, are they I guess open right away to trying different sports?
Absolutely, mostly at a young age.
Yeah,
you know, right now we're hosting that basketball camp at Tuxedo Courts, and I look at these boys. These Nigerian boys are in grade 9, massive legs, just ginormous kids, and I'm thinking in my head, man, like, if I could just teach them just a little bit, like that's all it'll take, and because they got the body and the frame for it. It's unbelievable, right? It's just how do you teach them is the question, right? And how do you get the funds to do it? And that's my goal, man. Like, I want to see these kids succeed. I want them to have all the connections that we do in life. And I tell you, and I'm gonna do it.
Well, and that's why it's so cool, is because you don't know how many people have missed out on, you know, this lengthy career in basketball or whatever, where it could take them, but they're unable to do it because the finances aren't there. So that's why it's awesome what Bring 'em Up is doing, partnering up with Open Door Society, and, you know, giving these kids this opportunity.
I think there's nothing, you know, with my wife being an educator and an administrator, and especially when she was at St. Augustine, which you went and worked there as well, like, just loved it, everything about it. And then you go and watch them on the basketball team. And then it's like, you know, the different nationalities and how all these kids come together. And like you said, some of them are so athletic and so good. And then I was watching this year St. Angela play my boys' team from St. Bernadette, big North End battle there. Yeah. They had 2 kids that could dunk, right? So in grade 8, like, it's so cool to see and so rewarding. And then track and field.
Oh, look out.
Like, game over.
Yeah.
But It's so how do you mentioned the gala, like if people and as this grows and all that, because I think we should totally be on board here. Like anytime you have anything, let us know.
Yeah.
This is awesome. How can people help out there? How do businesses help you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Like so, the gala, just to let you know, you guys, we ended up raising $73,000.
That's amazing.
In one night
for first year gala.
For the first year gala,
because you were there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he was a big part of it all. But the gala was amazing. My thing is, you know what? I just want people to believe in us. With this basketball camp that we're running, I wish all the people that sponsored us were there watching it, because it was just so amazing to see these kids so happy. And they're not at home creating trouble right now. They're in a basketball camp, right? So you can go right onto our website. Bring them up website. If you do want to donate, we're more than happy, to take donations. But most of all, just believe in us. Just come to our gala, come and hang out and see what's happening. Their money is going directly to the Open Door, and from the Open Door Society, they're divvying it up to whatever we want to do, whether it's football camps or a kid that needs to go to level 10 to work out to get to that next, level. No problem. We'll do it.
What's next after the basketball camp here? Do you got any other plans?
So my plan right now is when football season starts or when basketball season starts, I'm back to it now. I will be watching for that one kid that needs just a little bit of to get to that next position. I'll go to Miller High School and I know all the coaches, and I'll say, hey, listen, which one of these kids comes from a refugee family, and what do you think of that one? He goes, if that one has potential, then listen, we will put our money towards that person to get him to that next level, right?
I think, because I've been like, can that kid play flag football?
Yeah.
Right? Like
exactly.
I'm doing all that, like the kids that can dunk. Yeah. I'm like, and then we went and asked, and then the mom was like, and I'm like, it's flag football, just an introduction, because the kids are so athletic. So, again, anything that we can do as we go along here, reach out.
And I think it's not just about the sports either, right? Because I think all of us can say that in our sporting lives, we've met lifelong friends as well. So it's cool that not only are they learning a sport and they're having fun, but they're also going to meet people that could be lifelong friends, which is really the cool part.
And the connections you make throughout life. I'll tell you something, I wouldn't be sitting here if I wasn't an athlete at one time. I met every one of you guys that I've met is through sports.
I'm glad you said one time, because not really much of one anymore. This guy.
And the other thing, because I tell my kids about this, and we go back to Saskatoon. We stay at Baba's house, and she still lives in 16th, right? And it sounds so cheesy, and it's always talked about and all that. But the sports, it gives the kids something to do, and without that, then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna, and you see it all the time. They start running with the wrong group, and then all this, and it is so true. So, man, this is so cool. Yeah, I love it. So the gala is coming again next spring.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in May again, the gala, and like I said last year, we had 50 tables. Man, if we can get to that 70, 80 tables, how cool would that be?
Well, and I think because you guys would plan on having another kind of chit chat like you did last year, where you get to learn about another, like your story. The time that BK could take telling his story is incredible. So I think that's a cool aspect as well to the gala, where you can have someone up there speaking. Yeah. Even Joe, who played for the Riders and now in the NFL, did a video for these guys, and it was really cool hearing his story too.
Did you ever go by the bush where you hid your equipment?
Man, I think they're gone.
You did remember we did drive by there.
I drove them there. I said, these bushes. You know what's funny? Those bushes, we used to throw eggs at cars hiding from behind those bushes as well, too.
He tripped over his football equipment one time, probably got caught.
I miss those bushes.
Hey, kids. Egg thing was a thing of the past.
Come on, eggs are too expensive to do that nowadays. Don't be throwing them.
Exactly. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you very much.
This was, and again, anything that we can help, and I know Mark's helping out. Let us know.
Awesome. Thank you.
BK Waldu, Mark Johnson. Great story there. We'll come back in a bit. It is the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist.
We'll look back at some of the big shakers and movers of the country music scene. Some cats reinvented themselves, others, they did what works for them the best. We'll feature in the top 25 on your Country Music Rewind.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist. Brought to you by Crawford's No Frills. Saturday afternoons at 4 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on Country's Greatest Hits. 620 CKRM.
The Rough Rider and Children's Hospital Foundation's lottery is back, and it's a game changer. Picture yourself in a sleek new Porsche, or toes in the sand in stunning Greece, with 10 spectacular grand prizes, and your best chance to win $1 million. The life you've imagined is closer than ever. Over 1,000 epic prizes, from luxury vehicles, bucket list vacations, to fantastic rider prizes. Support Saskatchewan kids. Get your tickets now at riderschildrenslottery.ca. Please play responsibly. Lottery license LR250022.
If you're going to upgrade to a new combine, don't take half measures. Go all the way with this limited time offer on the Kloss Lexion 8600 Combine and the Convio Flex Draper Header. Now through July 31st, get 3.45% financing for 24 months when you purchase both together. An unbeatable deal that delivers big savings, legendary Kloss performance, and lower cost of ownership. But hurry, inventory is limited. Contact your Kloss dealer or visit klosssavings.ca. That's CLAAS savings.ca. Offer valid in Canada only.
The Sask Sport Athlete of the Month Award celebrates outstanding performances in a given month by a Saskatchewan athlete or team. Recent Athlete of the Month recipients include the Regina Masters Swim Club, who claimed a total of 251 medals at the 2025 Speedo Canadian Masters Championships in May. After collecting 8 medals across 2 competitions, Paris swimmer Ali Deal was awarded April Athlete of the Month. And in March, Sasha Krakauka collected multiple medals across 3 events and set a new Canadian record in target shooting. Learn more about each of the recipients and how to nominate an athlete or team in your community at sasksport.ca. Sask Sports Athlete of the Month program is supported by Sask Lotteries, the main fundraiser for more than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation organizations.
Country's hottest party is coming. James Barker Band, Bud Light Buckle Up Tour 2025. Live across Canada. November 20th, Temple Garden Center. Tickets on sale now at Temple Garden Center box office or online at sasktix.ca. James Barker Band Live.
You say,
"Come on, yeah."
And your cows say, moo. So you tell them,
your water is literally right over there.
And then they say,
like, moo again.
Your cows are divas, and you can't make them move to the water, so move the water to the cows with the Kelm Solar Livestock Watering System. Off-grid, low hassle, cow approved.
Very moo.
Visit kelmsolar.com.
Bidding is now open for the timed online farm equipment auction for Hayco Farms and Johan and Annette Kukamar of Belcaris, Saskatchewan. Register to bid at macauctioncompany.com. Equipment is showroom condition. 2017 Versatile 4-wheel drive tractor, Case IH Patriot 4420 sprayer, Case 9230 and 8010 combines, 2 Timothy grain trailers, JCB backhoe, plus a ton of grain storage. Bidding closes this Sunday, July 20th at 10 a.m.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. For all your hot water needs, call on Reliance Heath today.
Sam Emilus back with the Riders tomorrow. Also, Tavon Campbell will be back as they get ready to take on the British Columbia Lions. Allegedly, they're opening the upper deck in BC tomorrow, so crowd noise could be an issue. A.J. Allen thinks that they're going to be playing a different BC team compared to 3 weeks ago.
I mean, the whole game changes with a different quarterback, so it's a matter of preparing for what's going to happen. Obviously, it can't be the same playbook when you have someone like Nathan Rourke down. So it's learning. It's learning, right? They played 2 games after that, so obviously things have changed and new tendencies, new things like that. So it's just for us to prepare and be ready.
What an intriguing game in the league tonight. Calgary in Winnipeg. Another sellout in Winnipeg. Western Canadian Baseball League. Regina's in Okotoks. They lost 9-3 last night. Swifts in Weyburn, Medicine Hats and Moose Jaw, Saskatoons and Lethbridge. The All-Star game goes tomorrow. The Blue Jays back playing hardball tonight at home against San Francisco. And the Provincial Amateur Men's Golf Championship wrapped up in Humboldt. Regina's Luke Cote is your champion. Cote fired a -7 yesterday. He talks about how he had everything going that round.
Well, I hit it really good the first 2 days and just made nothing. So I was kind of going into day 3, knowing that if I hit it the same way I did, and I actually got some putts to fall, that I could post a number like I did. And I got off to a really good start. With the 4 birdies, and which is kind of what you got to do out there in Humboldt. The front nine's pretty gettable, and then I was just hitting it really well. Putts were falling, and kind of had a little bit of a rough finish, unfortunately, but still it was a great round.
And at the Open over in Ireland, Scotty Scheffler leads by 2 over Matt Fitzpatrick. That's your sports ticker for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals, keeping you in hot and soft water. Call on Reliance. Hour 2 is going to start with Bruce Boudreau. It's a Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com.
We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station. Streaming online at 620CKRM.com.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM News. Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team is looking into an officer-involved shooting that left 1 person dead in Regina. Police say the shooting happened at about 10:10 a.m. today on Garnet Street. A Regina police officer fired the gun during the investigation. Police are asking people to be patient while facts are collected. The Regina Police Service says any new details will come from CERT. People who know anything are asked to call CERTs. 7 months of promoting the Great Bin giveaway, and it all came to a head at Ag in Motion. It concluded yesterday afternoon with Gloria Arenas winning the 100-ton fertilizer bin from Core Grain. Her daughter-in-law, Oriana, went on her behalf and says the family is sort of brand loyal to Core Grain.
Yes, we actually have a number of Core Grain bins in our yard already, so they were looking for an additional family member, which they happen to gain today, so that actually worked really well for everyone.
The Arenas family has a mixed farm west of Yorkton called Westside Land and Cattle. The Wascana Centre wants the public's feedback on its 2025 master plan. The plan is renewed every 10 years, and this is the first one handled by the Provincial Capital Commission since it replaced the Wascana Centre Authority in 2017. The draft focuses on reconciliation, sustainability, and improving pathways and gathering spaces. People can share their ideas online until July 27th. The final plan will be ready for the public this November. A teenager accused of lighting a classmate on fire at Evan Hardy Collegiate in Saskatoon will face a judge-alone trial. A court heard the teen's lawyer requested the move, and Justice Mona DeVell approved it yesterday. The girl is charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and arson. Police say a teacher and school staff helped put out the flames, and the victim, who was 15 at the time, suffered serious injuries. Federal officials say the 2025 wildfire season is one of the worst on record for Canada, with a high risk of more fires in August. There are 561 fires burning, including 69 that are considered out of control, and most of them are on the prairies. Natural Resources Minister Tim Hodgson says it could get even worse.
Forecasts point to above average temperatures across much of Canada through the end of August, with dry conditions expected to intensify in the coming weeks, particularly in the west and the north.
More than 5.5 million hectares of land have burned so far this year, more than double the 10-year average for mid-July. And we knew the Toronto Blue Jays were hot lately, but this is a little ridiculous. A recent study has found that Toronto's average temperature has risen the most among Major League Baseball cities during the season over the past 40 years. Toronto's average temperature has gone up 3 degrees Celsius when the Blue Jays are in season. The Blue Jays were atop the analysis done by United States-based science nonprofit Climate Central. The Arizona Diamondbacks, based in Phoenix, were second on the list with a 2.8-degree rise. That is your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620CKRM.com. Your weather is next.
If you have a garage door that's running a little rough, you should really have Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists, come out and repair it. Or it may need to be replaced altogether. Yeah, just call Busy Bee Doors, the local experts who have been in the business for many, many years, because they can fix or replace any commercial or garage door.
Honey, calling Busy Bee.
Good idea. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
It's time to bring the energy, throw on your green, pack the stands, and get loud. Because this isn't just a game. It's Regina Rams football. Come cheer on the Rams all season long, and let's show the visiting team why Regina is the best city to catch a game. Family-friendly, affordable, and packed with fun in-game entertainment, giveaways, and of course hard-hitting, action-packed football. Season tickets are on sale now at reginarams.com. It's football time. Go Rams.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina, serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street. Tonight, clear skies and a low down to 12 degrees. Tomorrow, sun mixes with late day clouds and a risk of a shower. High of 26 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, scattered showers and a thunderstorm, low down to 16. Sunday, isolated showers and thunderstorms and a high of 25. Starting the week Monday, partly sunny, spotty showers and a high of 22.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
On your mark, get set.
No! Farming can be a race, and no farmer wants to be unprepared for seeding. Dutch Ag wants to make sure you're ready for next season now by getting your drill ready for next spring, so you're ready to roll. Dutch's new Razor Series sold out this year, but you can order yours now to avoid missing out. Get your Dutch openers before July 31st and save the freight with the best prices of the year. Visit DutchOpeners.com and be ahead of the race. Dutch Ag, on farm for you.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. The Sports Cage for Nelson Homes on Friday. Colson's in the pocket with me today. Giving away some Red Sox tickets. We might give away a couple more. Join in. Let us know what you're thinking. I think a bunch of people now sent in their predictions, even though we're not playing Sask. I'll pick the score today for the game tomorrow in British Columbia, 5 p.m. kickoff. Start things here at 2 p.m. on the Rider Broadcast Network. 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals text line. Prairie Land Rentals, where you get to deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street, whatever you need to rent, or if you're looking to buy some Husqvarna items, that's your stop. We got Clutch Performer coming up in a bit, Colson, but I got to give a shout out to, was it Keith? Works for Purelator at your house, delivering parcels. Says he listens to the Cage.
Not my house. My wife's place of work. He's one of their regular Purelator delivery guys.
Keith.
Yeah, apparently he, right at 3 o'clock, well, Purelator drives around everywhere, so right at 3 o'clock, turns on the Sports Cage, loves the show. So Keith.
Puro Keith.
Yeah.
Right on. Don't forget, don't miss the latest news from Riderville with the Sports Cage Insider Report. Sign up today by clicking on the Insider Report at sportscage.com. The latest news on the Rough Riders will be delivered to your daily inbox with chances to win Rider tickets. So all you need to do is find the code word to enter. They're giving away tickets to the next home game right now. So yeah, sportscage.com. That's where you find our stream as well. If you missed it in hour one, just to mention it, I know it was on our Twitter, the town of Dodsland, Saskatchewan. Unfortunate news there. Their hockey rink burnt down last night. Total loss. Shout out to all the surrounding communities that helped in trying to battle the blaze. But it is a loss, and a lot of you out there have we all have some sort of tie to a small town in Saskatchewan. And it's, they say it's the lifeblood of the community is the hockey rink and the curling rink and all that. So in Dodsland last night, they lost their hockey rink. Very, very unfortunate. I know they still have a senior team out there. Obviously, lots of youngsters and minor hockey go through Dodsland. So that one will hurt. On the Rider front, we mentioned Samuel Emelis is going to be back with the Riders tomorrow night in British Columbia. Also, Tavon Campbell is back. We are going to hear from Tommy Neild as well, who should be making his first start as a Saskatchewan Roughrider. He got injured. He's back, so he's in the lineup. So looking forward to seeing what he do. Emelis and Neild on the field as well. We're going to get to a Tommy Neild interview in about 10 minutes time here. But right now, out on the Western Pizza guest hotline, because it is Friday, no one likes to cook. Go grab that perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings from Western Pizza. He's coming to Regina next month at the Royal Regina, the Thursday right before the long weekend. He's going to be with our man Arash Madani, former NHL coach, former NHL player Bruce Boudreau. He joins us here on the Sports Cage. Bruce, thanks for making some time. I bet how pumped are you? You're coming to Saskatchewan.
Can't wait. It's been my dream come true. No, listen, I love Saskatchewan. Bob Woods, my good friend, was a coach there for junior, and it's I was there last year, as a matter of fact, and enjoyed it.
All the guys you've coached. So you mentioned Bob Woods. All the players you coached. I mean, we know you coached Getzlaff, right?
Yeah.
Is there a Sasky guy that, kind of, maybe he wasn't the best player, maybe he wasn't a Getzlaff, he wasn't scoring goals for all that, but just that gritty, that guy that kind of, he had a piece of your heart?
Well, I don't know if it's from guys that I coached, but a good friend of mine is a guy I played with, two of them, Tiger Williams and Barry Melrose, both from Saskatchewan. So, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of guys that everywhere you go, you come through and they played in Saskatchewan or they grew up in Saskatchewan. Brooks Lake is another one that I coached that is from Regina. And the names will keep coming back. Once you start talking about them, you go, oh, yeah, he was from Saskatchewan too. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, there's nothing more perfect than a player from Saskatchewan when you think about the prairies and everything else that you got to go through. If you're coaching and you're drafting, you want a guy from that area of the world because you know that they've got hard work in their veins and they're ready to play.
Boyd Gordon from Unity, Saskatchewan. There's, just so many guys like that.
Kevin Kaminski.
Killer.
Killer's a good friend of mine, and his name just got brought up before dinner here. It's like, again, names that you just start thinking. I think Garrett Mitchell, who played for the Bears, is from Saskatchewan. So there's tons of them.
What for you and Arash Madani, he hyped it up. He said twice, you have a million stories. He used million. So you got a lot of stories. And then I started going through Bruce Boudreau, and I'm like, the coaching thing. I go back. I'm born in 77, so it's before my time. But you played with the Leafs, 76, 77. I watched that Boria Salming documentary and got a sense of Harold Ballard and all that. Mm-hmm. Do you have, in all your million stories, do you have any good Harold Ballard stories?
Well, you know what? It's funny because we used to charter back then, and I always thought that he liked me. I didn't know if he did or if he didn't, but you'd like to think that I was a Toronto Marlboro and we won 2 Memorial Cups. And he owned the team. You'd think he'd like me, but he always called me Pat Boutette. He never called me. He thought I was Pat Boutette. And so, and Pat Boutette was a regular on the team. So I never wanted to tell him different because I thought, if he liked Pat Boutette, then he's going to keep me. I won't be the guy that's being called up and sent down every night. But I mean, that's a Harold Ballard story, but I mean, the best ones are when I'm with Gordy Stellick and when Gord starts talking, because he worked right in the office with Harold and saw all the weird stuff that he did. So, but there was plenty of them, and you know, the older you get, the more weirder you realize that Harold was when he was an owner. Like
he slept in the rink. He slept in the office.
Exactly. Him and King Clancy. Okay, God rest both their souls. In that they would sit at the front of the plane, and they certainly remind you when you'd have to walk by them. That's when you'd say, "Hey, Pat, good game, Booter," and I'd go, "Okay, fine." And but. They remind you of the two Muppets that sit up in the balcony, just giggling to themselves. Like that's what they were like when you walked on that plane.
You mentioned that you guys chartered back then. You must have been one of the few teams, because traveling in the NHL back in the 70s is nowhere near what they're doing nowadays.
No, it's a far cry. It was always a little plane that could just barely fit your 23 players or your coach. It was probably about a 40-seater plane, whereas now they get the big planes. You got different sections, one for media, one for the trainers, one for the coaches, one for the players. So it's quite different what they do, and the meals are so much different. If we were to get a chocolate bar on the trip, that would be great. But nowadays, they already know what you want after the game, because and when you get on the plane, your meal is waiting for you, all individual meals. So it's pretty crazy what the difference between now and when I started playing in the NHL.
Yeah, definitely. And when you go back and your playing days and your minor pro and pro, and then maybe even your early days of coaching, who was the coach that you maybe learned the most from now that you look back?
You know, it's a great question. I think with me, I think the guy you learned the most from is I'll preface it by saying this. There's about 6 coaches I've had that I tried to take something from every one of them, and I thought they were all brilliant. And Roger Nielsen was probably the smartest coach. Him and Andy Murray were very detail-oriented and tremendous. Then you had George Armstrong and Jr., who was the guy you wanted to emulate, because the players didn't. When we lost, we were afraid that we were disappointing him, so we didn't want to lose. And so I wanted to be that kind of coach that knew what I was talking about, but the players wanted to play for you so bad that they would go through a brick wall for you. That was sort of my thing. But I mean, I've had the good ones. I've had the old style coaches that, boy, I mean, if you turn around, they're going to shoot you. You've seen them a lot in Western Canada Junior when I was playing. They were always there. The tougher than tough coaches, and it was crazy, So, hey, here's another name, Rod Dahlman. He's from Saskatchewan. I played with him in Springfield, and him and I think Mick Bakota was. I don't know if he's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, he is.
But, I mean, they were my wingers, and they both got 400 minutes and penalties. They couldn't score or skate. But boy, you didn't want to bother me because I had the greatest cavalry in the league, so it was great.
I can't wait for the event coming up at the Royal Regina. A couple of tables available. I'm going to be there, Bruce. Arash owes me a number of pints over bets throughout the year. The one thing that we have in common, you played with him. He briefly coached me in junior in Pittsburgh as Steve Carlson from the movie Slapshot. Yeah. We'll all remember that. So Arash says you got a number of Slapshot stories because you were involved in that movie in a number of ways.
Yeah, well, I was in it. I was lucky or unlucky enough. The Minnesota Fighting Saints folded, and I went back down to Johnstown, which was their farm club, just at the time they were making the movie. So it was pretty interesting, quite frankly. The stories you can tell, there's a lot of stories you can't tell, but I mean, the stories that you can tell, funny things like the one day George Roy Hill came in and he says, okay, I need a scene today. It's a big difference between making movies back then and making now. He says, I need a scene today. We need an apartment that's really sloppy and messy and just sort of worn down. And everybody stood up and pointed to me. And so we used my apartment in the movie where Paul Newman is lying on the bed with the dog and everything else. And that's my apartment. Pretty proud of it, but for $50 a month, I wasn't getting much more than what you saw was the bed and the kitchen.
Because I asked her, Ash told me the story. He's like, yeah, they used his apartment in the movie, and I'm like when he's got the towel over his head and he's trying to get a nap, and Killer calls him and says, I want that bounty, and then and the dog's in there. So that was your apartment. Like what a crazy story. Did I read this correctly? You're the owner of a couple of junior hockey teams?
Yeah, here in Pennsylvania, in Hershey, we own a couple of, I would call them, junior B to junior C teams. And there's a junior C team that feeds the junior B team. And yes, but I don't do much. I tell my wife I'm just the eye candy for this thing. My one son coaches it. My wife's the president and GM. So when we don't make the playoffs, I blame them. I just say, hey, listen, that's all you guys right now. I'm just sitting here. But it's fun. It's fun. Being involved in hockey. We have our hockey school in 2 weeks in Canada that we've had for 40 years. So, it's all I know or do. So it's created a lot of fun stories and a lot of good times to go along with the bad times. I thought you were going to say, we got some things in common that you got fired by Vancouver too, but I didn't go that far. So, I guess you were one of the fortunate ones that didn't get to Vancouver.
No, I only get fired in Saskatchewan. I keep it in the 306. What's your take before I go any further on the NCAA and now the major junior kids being able to come down, and then Gavin McKenna allegedly signing or getting that kind of money, however he's going to get it?
It's a great question, and I think it's going to completely ruin everything. College hockey isn't going to be college hockey anymore, and it's not. And junior hockey, if you're good and you don't think you can gain anything by staying, whether it's your draft year or your year after your draft, you're going to go somewhere else. So I think it's going to ruin junior hockey, and I hope they find a solution to it soon, because the Gavin McKennas of the world are what put people in the building, and to only get to see him for 1 or 2 years when he was a 15 and 16-year-old is not right. And I think Penn State offered him $700,000, so you can't blame.
I think we lost Bruce. I think we unfortunately got cut off. Did we get cut off? Yeah. We can try and effort it back. I didn't know he lived in Hershey. They had a heck of a team. That Ethan Bear was there this year, and yeah, Bruce. If you look it up, I had no idea he actually played for a number of. He grinded in the minors, and then did play in the NHL. And yeah, he's here with Arash Madani. It's coming up next month at the Royal Regina. It is the Thursday before the Labor Day long weekend, which is the 28th. And there are a couple of tables left as of last time I checked was Wednesday. So it's a nice night. Obviously, Bruce and Arash will entertain. There's prime rib, champagne. It's going to be a great time. So we'll get him back another time, Colson. That's okay. He probably lost. He's back? We got it? Oh, we lost. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Okay, so and just people that were going to come to this event, you seem like anybody that's seen you, doing your post-coaching hockey analysis, and you're on pods and this and that, and Gord Stellick. What are people going to? Why should people come that night, Bruce?
Well, to have to support the event is one big thing. I think it'll be entertaining. It has been in the past. Me and Arash have done a few of these, and they've been great fun times. But I think the people that go there are going to have a great time, and they're going to support a great cause. So it's I think if you're not doing anything on, what is it, 27th? 28th of August, come on down. Let's talk stories, because the one thing I do know now that I'm sort of retired is I don't have to hold back when I don't like somebody. So, I mean, I can say what I feel, and it's sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing.
Our producer Colson's got the question hat on. I think he's got a question for you.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey.
Arash told me earlier to ask this question to you. So when Wayne Gretzky was blowing up your phone about making a trip to Edmonton, something like that?
Yeah.
You got a story for us about that?
Yeah, here's the thing, though, and I've told the story a couple times, but if I tell it to you now in 7 minutes, then I won't be able to tell that story at the thing, because it's a pretty funny story, and it's sort of, Wayne Gretzky's my hero, and one of the great things about sports is I didn't realize he even knew who I was, but I was sort of his hero growing up because I'm about 4 years older than him. And so he watched me play all the time. But it's a great story, and I'm sure I will be telling it on the evening of the 28th.
That's what we call in the biz a tease. So now we get those last two tables sold, and then people can hear that story on the 28th. Bruce, thanks for doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to meet you. Are you going to be golfing? Are you coming in? Are you going to be golfing the day before? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be golfing the day before. I think I'm coming in the day before.
Okay.
And then, so
we'll hang out.
I don't think Arash didn't tell me about the golf thing. So, I mean, he just told me about the dinner thing.
Okay, we'll grab some pints. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much, Bruce, and we'll see you next month.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Bruce Boudreau coming to town August 28th with Arash Madani at the Royal Regina Golf Club. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. Champagne, little prime rib, and take it all in. It's gonna be loose. There'll be some good stories, and like he said, he doesn't have to hold back anymore. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com, and we are on 620 CKRM.
You want to stay in the loop without any hassle. Well, we've got the perfect solution for you. The Regina Today newsletter. Get the Regina Today newsletter delivered straight to your phone. No searching, no scrolling, just all the latest news, events, and contests when you want it. Text the word news to 306-936-6262 and get the inside scoop sent straight to your inbox. Regina Today from sasktoday.ca, bringing the city to your fingertips.
If you're going to upgrade to a new combine, don't take half measures. Go all the way with this limited time offer on the Kloss Lexion 8600 Combine and the Convio Flex Draper Header. Now through July 31st, get 3.45% financing for 24 months when you purchase both together. An unbeatable deal that delivers big savings, legendary Kloss performance, and lower cost of ownership. But hurry, inventory is limited. Contact your Kloss dealer or visit klosssavings.ca. That's CLAAS savings.ca. Offer valid in Canada only.
We asked Karen what it's like investing with Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions.
Brian is great to work with. He's always quick to get back to me. I like to ask a lot of questions, and he's always been really good. No question is a silly question. He cares about, when I ask him something, he's very detailed, and I know he cares about his clients, and he's very thorough when he explains things, so I understand it.
SmartInvestingSolutions.ca.
Nelson Homes is having a summer blowout sale on quick possession homes that you don't want to miss out on. Get free delivery anywhere in Saskatchewan on select in-stock show homes and spec home RTMs. For more information, visit their website, homes.nlc.ca. Or for general information, call 1-800-661-6534. That's the Nelson Homes Summer Blowout Sale. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Proven by countless farmers, 900 Series Fendt sprayers set the standard for your crops, and it's available at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Featuring 370 horsepower, 132-foot boom, 1,580-gallon tank, smart drive 4-wheel steering, and liquid logic recirculating boom, the 900 Series Fendt sprayers are backed by a 3-year, 2,000-hour Gold Star warranty. Leaders drive Fendt. To learn more about making your crops successful, visit Nick's Service today. nickservice.com.
This is where we play. This is where we live. Extreme Hockey and Sport is where we shop when we need the gear for our game in our town. Hockey is in our blood as much as the Prairies themselves. Extreme Hockey and Sport understands this. That's why they provide the Saskatchewan Stars of tomorrow only the best. Every level, any budget, expert fit. They're your local sit and fit hockey shop. Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, Regina's Hockey Shop.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Hey, let's hit up Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Pump? You talking about my basketball shoes?
No, Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Who?
Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. They're open now. They've got a large selection of local draft and food and drink specials. Kids are allowed until 8. There's live entertainment every weekend.
Let's go. I'm pumped.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Two-Way Service, your Ford dealer in Southie, continue to have big-time deals going on for their 2024 clear-out. Save $10,000 on the last 2024 Bronco Sport. Save $8,000 on the last 2024 Ford Escape. Save $4,500 on the last 2024 Ranger. And check out our great selection of 2025s with savings up to $10,000. Plus, get a trip for two to Vegas with every purchase. Two-Way Service in Southie. Take the short drive to Southie now. You'll be glad you did. TwoWayService.com.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
Clutch Performer. We're going to hear from him in an interview I did with him just before we went on the air. We hear that in about 10 minutes' time. But our Clutch Performer from Regina, Saskatchewan, local golfer Luke Cote. He won the Saskatchewan Men's Amateur Championship today in Humboldt, Saskatchewan. Yesterday, Luke went 7 deep, 7 under 65, pulled into the lead, hung on today. He's won the Junior Championship a few years ago. Now he wins the Saskatchewan Amateur. Luke Cote and his dad, Bart. Bartholomew was on the bag. He was caddying for him. Unbelievable. Luke Cote, our Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park today. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Riders tomorrow in BC. They got a new weapon, hopefully in their arsenal. Tommy Neild. He is slated to play first game as a Rider. Rider debut. After battling injuries since training camp. Dave Thomas caught up with Tommy.
Tommy Neild, one of the things that I think speaks loudest in language is body language, and your body language has been sensational this week, out running with the ones, looking like you're having a good time. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. It's starting off this season with an injury coming out of training camp is something you never want to deal with, but that's part of playing football. It's going to happen at some point, so I just try to control what I can, and that's how I go through my recovery. And then once I'm back on the field, I'm just trying to get back to who I am on the field, and that's having fun out there. Like you said, good body language and just enjoying myself playing football again.
Can you take me through what this process is like? Again, everybody wants to be on the field, and as fans, we see the injury report come out and Tommy Neild is unavailable or limited or not participating. What's it like for you to see that and try to battle back to get into the lineup and be ready to go?
it's like, I mean, yeah, like I said, not playing, it sucks, man. You never want to miss practice, miss games. You feel like it's staying mentally locked in and positive during those times and staying on top of your recovery, like I said, controlling what you can, and that's how you respond to situations where you might not get to be on the field, or and making sure you're still going to the meeting, staying mentally locked in, staying in the playbook, so when you are back and healthy, you can hit the ground rolling and try not to miss a step.
True or false question for you. I was told once that it's easier to recover from an injury physically than what it is sometimes mentally. True? False?
I would say that's true, depending on the person. But in my case, I think that's true. You know, the physical part of it, that's going to take care of itself with the rehab and strengthening again. But the mental part is just building that trust in yourself. And I've had my fair share of injuries since playing football, so I feel like mentally I know what it takes. And going through that process of more than once, I'm kind of I'm not new to it, so I'm a little more, I don't want to say, I guess, more comfortable in that situation. But like I said, it's football. You're going to get injured at some point. It's just how you respond to it.
Tell me about being in the receiver room and stepping into that lineup that really can showcase anyone any day, because you just never know. What's it like?
It's awesome, man. Like, you see it. There's been multiple guys where they've had their day on game day, and it doesn't matter who's out there. Like, our whole group can make plays. I'm confident. We're all confident in each other. We play together, and it's a good group. It's exciting with whoever's out there. Honestly, like, it doesn't matter.
Trevor Harris says, you know what, I've got confidence in everybody.
Yeah.
What's your confidence in your quarterback?
I've got great confidence in Trevor. I've got great confidence in all our quarterbacks. I think that's built in training camp. It's built in practice, built in the meeting room, and it doesn't matter who's out there. This is a solid group. We play together, and we're gonna make plays.
I know that the idea is to go 1-0 each and every week, so no one game is more important than the rest. But is there a little more incentive this week after the way last week against Calgary went?
It's really. Obviously, we have a bitter taste in our mouth from last week. You want to go 1-0 every week, but you just take things one day at a time. That's one practice at a time, one play at a time, and if you continue to get better each and every play, every day you were from the day before, then things will take care of themselves. But I expect,
do you want to run some AJ?
Like every week, us to come out fast, play hard, and do what we do.
Tommy, appreciate the time. Look forward to seeing you out there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. Yeah. That'll be... I like it. Sam Emilus back in. Sprinkle in a little Tommy Nield. The Kadeem Carey and AJ Ouellette. Now, we're going to see more Kadeem Carey tomorrow. Are we going to? Are they just going to hammer AJ Ouellette and establish that run game like we talked with Luke right down BC's throat? Is that the play? And then I'm really curious to watch and hope that Brett Lawther gets it going. That's got to be. I was talking to a guy the other day, and I think we've talked about it on the show, and I'm sure a lot of you out there think about it as well. How hard it would be to be a kicker, and if you're in a funk, to get out of that, because you got the snap, you got the hold, and then it's you. So hopefully those first two things go smooth, and then it's you. And if you're in your own kitchen, as they say, I don't know. If you are a golfer, you know what that's like. Your swing, you don't know where it's going. For me, it happens a lot. High handicap, and I'm not even joking. It's true. I'm brutal right now. I don't know if it's going left or right. If I'm going to top it, I'm going to pop it up. So, it's controlled environment in BC, so that'll be a good thing. And let's just hope he gets on a roll. Is it one of those games tomorrow where we see like 4 or 5 field goals? One of those. And the over-under. Hey, Sportscage, I know there's a bunch of you listening that always listen and try and help me with my Sprinkleville. 52.5. That's a tough number. 52.5. BC's 2.5-point favorite. I like the Riders on the money line. But I like some props. How about tonight? Calgary, Winnipeg. Like we talked to Luke. When we run that in hour 3 if you missed it. That is an intriguing CFL football game. Rag on the league, rag on the rules, rag on cities, whatever buzz you want to go with. Hot take. That's an interesting football game tonight. Calgary in Winnipeg, sold out. Winnipeg's a 4-point favorite. I'm intrigued to watch. Anyway. So yeah. Oh, there's some text coming in. People helping with my bet tomorrow. And then how about a little prop? How about a Sam Emilus anytime touchdown? Joe Robustelli anytime touch. See, Robustelli was last week. Maybe it's a Keyshawn Johnson or a Dante Myers kind of game. Open up with a touchdown. Trevor Harris was slinging it around the park, though.
You know what's a safe one every week, though? Kenny Lawler anytime touchdown.
That guy's good. It's like the catch he made last week, too. That guy's good. That could be the most entertaining. It's I don't want to say the best receiver in the CFL because I don't know. Do we know? Do we really know? But he's an entertaining football player, and he's up against Eugene Lewis. Little self-assessment, little self-challenge for those two this week. Other than that, I have no interest in watching that football game. Hamilton and Ottawa, and it's the Open, right? This weekend is watching golf from 3 a.m. till 9 a.m. Scotty Scheffler leads. Old Scotty really loves to win guy. Really embraces a victory. Yeah. Okay, we'll go to break. And when we come back, local golf, Luke Cote. I caught up with him just before I went on the air, a little interview, as he won the Saskatchewan Men's Amateur Golf Championship. Your say is always welcomed on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, 936-6262. It is a Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com.
Don't miss the McDougall Auctioneers Unreserved Pre-Harvest Egg Sale closing July 23rd at 10 a.m. This auction is one of the largest Claas Combine auctions to hit the unreserved market in 2025. Up for auction, case 2016 to 2018. Claas models 590R, 740, 750 TT, 760 TT, 8700, 8700 TT, and 8800 TT, 2009 to 2021. John Deere and case headers and more. That's the McDougall Auctioneers Unreserved Pre-Harvest Egg Sale closing July 23rd at 10 a.m. For more information, visit McDougallAuction.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50/50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Calling all skilled heavy-duty mechanics. Core Industrial Services has an exciting opportunity for you. They're hiring a full-time heavy-duty mechanic to join them at their 9,000-square-foot shop in Rocanville, Saskatchewan. As a heavy-duty mechanic, you're responsible for performing maintenance and repairs on a wide range of equipment, from heavy machinery to light trucks and more. At Core Industrial Services, they believe in the power of teamwork. Apply today on their website at coreindustrial.ca or call them at 306-745-4844. Core Industrial Services, where expertise meets opportunity. Apply now.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Nelson Homes is having a summer blowout sale on quick possession homes that you don't want to miss out on. Get free delivery anywhere in Saskatchewan on select in-stock show homes and spec home RTMs. For more information, visit their website, homes.nlc.ca. Or for general information, call 1-800-661-6534. That's the Nelson Homes Summer Blowout Sale. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Reel in the good times and even bigger fish with gear from the Hook, Line, and Sunshine Sale. On now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Experience tour-grade performance with Bass Pro Shops Johnny Morris Carbon Light rods and reels. You'll save 25%. Plus save up to 30% on tackle storage and backpacks from brands like Bass Pro Shops, Lunker Hunt, and Plano. Find more great deals during the Hook, Line, and Sunshine Sale. All now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. See online for more details.
Some say the number 13 is bad luck, like walking under a ladder. Well, 13 is a very lucky number when you're talking Western Pizza, like their delicious 13-inch pepperoni from Western Pizza. That makes it, well, the luckiest number of all. Western Pizza, big on toppings, big on taste. Dine in or takeout. Order today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Sportscage continues. You can watch our live stream at sportscage.com, on our YouTube channel, and always on the radio. Saskatchewan's voice for local sports. 620 CKRM.
Keeping things local here on the Sports Cage on this Friday for Nelson Homes. We talked about it. Luke Cote from Regina shoots a 73 today, wins the Saskatchewan Amateur Men's Championship by 2 shots over Corey Bailey from Swift Current. A little while ago, I had a chance to catch up with young Luke. Luke Cote, the 2025 Saskatchewan Amateur Men's Champion, joining us here on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Luke, that sounds pretty good, right? Sask Amateur Champion.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's got a nice ring to it.
What happened? Let's go through yesterday, man, because you're trailing going into yesterday. Then I see what you're doing. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're like 4 deep after 4 holes. You finish with a 65, which is -7. I think. What all clicks yesterday? How does yesterday go?
Well, I hit it really good the first 2 days and just made nothing. So I was kind of going into day 3, knowing that if I hit it the same way I did, and I actually got some putts to fall, that I could post a number like I did. And I got off to a really good start with the 4 birdies, and which is kind of what you got to do out there in Humboldt. The front nine's pretty gettable, and then I was just hitting it really well. Putts were falling, and kind of had a little bit of a rough finish, unfortunately, but still, it was a great round on Thursday.
What your dad was on the bag, Bart. I know he's been with you before. How beneficial was that?
Yeah, it helps a lot not having to push or carry your clubs, but he's a really good green reader, so he helps me a lot on the greens, and we seem to be connecting up on the reads really well yesterday, and the putts were falling. So it's a big help always to have someone like him help me out.
Do you got a story for us where maybe he talked you into a different shot that you wanted to hit, or vice versa?
So in round 2, I actually topped it off a 14 tee. And I was like, it kind of opens up by the green, so I thought I could hit a 3-wood up there from like 270, and he talked me into laying up with a 7-iron, and then I got it up and down from 90 yards and saved par in round 1. So that was one spot where he definitely talked me off the fence of doing something maybe a little dumb.
What a
for sure.
Veteran move. I love it. How did today's round go? 73, you hold on to win by 2 shots. How do you summarize today's round?
You know what? I didn't really have my best ball striking today. And that happens, but I was able to hang on. I had a bit of a bump in the road on hole 12. I made a 6, which took my 5-shot lead to a 1-shot lead really quickly. But I stuck with it. I actually birdied the hole after that 6, so I was really happy with how I played with the pressure coming down the stretch, because I was definitely a little nervous at times. So.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You also got your name on the junior championship trophy for Saskatchewan too, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Do you?
I've got both now.
Yeah, I know you're still a young guy, and I don't know if it will sink in for a long time, but like that's gonna live forever. Like you'll be able to show your kids and tell your kids that, you know, my name's on both of those trophies. Has that sunk in at all?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like this trophy's got 1908 stamped on it, so it's got a lot of history, and so does the junior. There's a lot of names of, you know, Sask Golf Hall of Famers on those trophies. So, yeah, just so much history. It's really cool to win something like the Saskam. Growing up here, obviously, it's always been a goal of mine, so it feels really good to check that off the list.
Now, it's Friday. You got the weekend. You're going to celebrate? What's the celebration plans, or do you got to get to work tomorrow?
I actually got to get to work tomorrow at 6, so we'll see. Might have to tame myself down tonight.
Luke, congratulations. You're a beauty of a young guy. Super proud of you. That's awesome what you pulled off here.
Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, quite the feat to get your name on both of those trophies. Really cool. Speaking of local sports, shout out to the Regina team, Regina Moose Jaw, Regina area team that is down at the NFL Flag World Championships. They're competing in the 14 and under co-ed division. They're from Regina. They're playing for Team Canada. They're 4-0 at the event. No losses. They just dumped Mexico 27-13 in day 2 here. So they're rolling. We had them in, Mike Thomas and Xavier, and I can't remember the other. Great show there. So they're 4-0. They are rolling. It is the Sports Cage. We are the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. We are streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
The annual Gateway Festival, July 25th to 27th, bringing great musical acts to southern Saskatchewan, featuring Washboard Union. It's that hometown feeling, back screaming, riding those streets that you've always known. Nice Horse, Jake Vaudeland, and more than 20 others. Plus a parade, car show, food trucks, children's activities, and camping. The annual Gateway Festival, July 25th to 27th in Bengoff. Tickets and more info at gatewayfestival.com.
Hey, we're Harvard Media. A few times a year, we love to get together with our favorite businesses and throw a good old-fashioned classic auction. There's nothing like waiting until the last minute, battling out other bidders, and claiming your prize. We're looking for businesses to join up for our next one. All we need from you is an experience, service, or item like a gift card. In return, we'll serve you up a top-tier ad campaign. No cash needed. This is a trade deal. Check out harvardmedia.com for info. Terms and conditions apply.
Farmers, grain, poultry, cattle, barn, house, and more. A generator is a necessity. Whether you need to keep operating during an outage, keep water bowls from freezing, grain drying during winter, or need power at a remote location, you need a generator from Shorty Generators. Now is the season to buy or service your generator on the farm to be sure you always have power when and where you need it. And Shorty services all makes and models, including PTO generators. Shorty Generators. Power where you need it. ShortyGenerators.ca. Nelson Homes is having a summer blowout sale on quick possession homes that you don't want to miss out on. Get free delivery anywhere in Saskatchewan on select in-stock show homes and spec home RTMs. For more information, visit their website, homes.nlc.ca. Or for general information, call 1-800-661-6534. That's the Nelson Homes Summer Blowout Sale. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Summers in Saskatchewan can get toasty. Be ready with a new Bryant air conditioner from Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Bronco's Bryant air conditioners are tariff-free and in stock. When Bronco installs your new Bryant air conditioner, they'll only send qualified, courteous, professional tradespeople who will do the job right, including the cleanup. For a tariff-free Bryant air conditioner, call Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, 781-2090, or visit broncoplumbing.com. They'll treat you right.
Let's get out on the water. Now is the best time of year to buy a boat or pontoon at Kevin's Marine. Cast a line in a Lund fishing boat. Take the family out on a Four Winds boat. Or head out on a pontoon by Harris or Crest. Powered by Mercury Motors at the lowest prices of the year. There are manufacturer's rebates, dealer discounts, and low payment financing on a great selection of boats and pontoons. Plus Shoremaster aluminum docks and lifts. Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel. Enjoy your summer. Get out on the water. Stop by or shop online at kevinsmarine.com.
Rider Pride lives on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network, 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, and tomorrow your Saskatchewan Roughriders take on the BC Lions. Coverage starts at 2 p.m., kickoffs at 5. Tune in for the pregame show, all the play-by-play action and postgame analysis of the Riders versus the Lions on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Cheer on our Saskatchewan Roughriders as they invade BC tomorrow afternoon and make them bleed green. Catch the game on 620 CKRM or stream us from the CKRM or Rider app.
Country Corner is brought to you by EMF Market Mall. Open Thursday to Sunday at 1217 Broad Street. Look for EMF Market Mall on Facebook.
620 CKRM is proud to support this year's Gateway Music Festival in Bengoff, July 25th and 26th. The Washboard Union, Jake Vaudeland and the Sturgeon River Boys, Nice Horse, and many more. Tickets and camping at gatewayfestival.com. Head down to the North Dakota State Fair and catch Luke Bryan on the grandstand Saturday, July 26th. Check out all of the details at ndstatefair.com. And the Community Builders Synergy 8 Drive for Kids campaign is August 28th at Prairie Land in Saskatoon. This year's celebrity guest is Canadian pro golfer Corey Connors, all in support of the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. Synergy8.ca.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. It's time for the Sports Ticker.
Riders, Lions tomorrow, 5 o'clock kickoff. We're starting things here on 620 CKRM at 2 p.m. If you missed it, Sam Emila should be back rolling tomorrow. Tommy Neal in the lineup and Tavon Campbell. Just a few of the guys back in the lineup. CFL tonight, Calgary, Winnipeg. What an intriguing matchup it is. Sold out in Winnipeg. Again, Western Canadian Baseball League, Regina's and Okotoks lost 9-3 there last night. Swifts in Weyburn, Medicine Hat in Moose Jaw, Saskatoon's in Lethbridge. The All-Star game in the league goes tomorrow. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays are going to play San Francisco at home. Series starting tonight. Provincial Amateur Golf from Humboldt. If you missed it, Luke Cote won on the men's side today, 73. He wins over 2 on top of Corey Bailey from Swift Current. Chloe Willis wins on the women's side over Ella Kozak there. And in the Open over in Ireland, it is Scotty Scheffler leading by 2 over Matthew Fitzpatrick. Round 3 goes early tomorrow morning. Oh, NHL news here. Ken Weeb just has. The Jets have agreed to terms with restricted free agent Gabe Vilardi. A 6-year deal. Sports Ticker in Hour 2, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport in Regina. Whatever your sport is, Extreme Hockey has you covered. And right now, they got the new Bauer Flylight gear in, whether it's skates, sticks, whatever you need. Extreme Hockey and Sport, they've always been local, and they're always here. A.J. Allen. Let's hear it from him. He's in the lineup tomorrow in British Columbia, where I understand, thanks to the text line, I forget who texted this in, I did read it online, that they're opening up the upper bowl, the up top, whatever it is, in BC Place Stadium. So will crowd noise be a little different? AJ Allen, though, talks about facing his good friend Nathan Rourke.
You're stuck between, like, obviously we want to win every game, right? And he's the opposing quarterback. I want to make sure he has a horrible day, you know. But also at the end of the day, like, again, he's a great guy. He's a friend. So you want to see people, you know, get out the game healthy and stuff like that. But I hope, with all due respect, I hope he has a horrible day. I hope he can't see. I hope he's got 2 left eyes and 2 left arms and 2 left feet as well. And he throws 17 interceptions and he rushes for negative 80 yards. What else? And he fumbles 8 times. I hope that, you know, because that means we're having a great day. So, again, I obviously wish him the best and all that stuff. But right now he's the opposing quarterback. And we got things to do and things to achieve. So,
2 left eyes. Don't think I've ever heard that before. 2 left feet, yes. 2 left eyes.
And 2 left arms.
2 left arms, yeah. A little bit of everything. Allen also talks about if it's easier to reset after a game that Coach Mace says they got their butts whooped.
We did. You know, we got our butts kicked. And I don't think it's ever easy, to be honest with you. Because, again, we're all striving to be great. So you have a good game. Who said that? I think it was Ray Lewis. He's like, you want to learn from your wins as much as you learn from your losses, right? Because if you're only learning when you lose, you're only learning some of the times. Like if we went 18-0, right, you never learn anything anymore compared to going 0-18. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you're trying to learn something from every game, every day, every practice. You're trying to learn something. And if you're not, I don't want you in this building. You know what I'm saying? That's what it needs to be. We're all striving to be great, and none of us are perfect.
That's right. That's what I tell my wife all the time. None of us are perfect. Big one tomorrow, 5 p.m. Don't forget, all participating KFC locations in Saskatchewan, the End Zone Big Crunch on a game day is $4.95, and tomorrow the Big Crunch combo, $7.95. Hour 3, we're going to have Rider legend Scott Schultz starting it off with us. We're also got our Prairie Golf Gems. We're going to Thompson Lake. Hour 3 will be fun. It is a Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com.
We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station, broadcasting live from downtown Regina.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the sasktoday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news for Echo Sound in Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. The provincial government says it's bringing in more crews to fight raging wildfires as more people have been forced to flee their homes. Steve Roberts with the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says firefighters from Australia have arrived, and crews from Mexico, Ontario, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick are set to arrive in the coming days. He says crews are working hard on the southern edge of the fire near Beauval, and low winds have helped prevent the fire in Prince Albert National Park from spreading quickly. Air quality warnings were in effect today for parts of Saskatchewan as wildfire smoke lingered over the region. The Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team is now investigating a deadly police shooting in Regina. It happened this morning at about 10:10 a.m. on the 1300 block of Garnett Street. A Regina police officer fatally shot an individual while working on an investigation. The Regina Police Service says it won't give any more details right now because CERT has taken over. CERT is a civilian team that handles serious cases involving police in Saskatchewan. Gloria Arenas is the big winner of the Great Bin giveaway. She'll be adding a 100-ton fertilizer bin from Core Grain to the farm. Gloria's daughter-in-law, Oriana, was at Ag in Motion on her behalf to take the prize and was asked if it's going to be put to good use.
We will. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, it will come in very handy on our farm, so.
The Arenas family has a 6,000-acre grain cattle operation west of Yorkton called Westside Land and Cattle. Dutch elm disease has been found in 2 trees in Wascana Centre. Staff removed the trees on July 14th to stop the disease from spreading. Wascana Centre checks trees all summer for signs of trouble. In the last 10 years, they've had 5 cases of Dutch elm disease, including 2 this year near Goose Hill and the Saskatchewan Science Centre. The Provincial Capital Commission says they're working to protect the urban forest and remind everyone it's illegal to move or store elm firewood in Regina. Prime Minister Mark Carney will be in Inuvik, Northwest Territories on July 24th to continue talks with Indigenous groups on the government's major projects bill.
The Prime Minister's office says the meeting will cover a range of issues, including how the Building Canada Act can be implemented consistent with Inuit land claims agreements and in partnership with Inuit. The Building Canada Act gives the government the ability to fast-track projects that are deemed to be in the national interest by sidestepping some review requirements under a host of federal laws. Carney hosted a meeting with hundreds of First Nations leaders in Gatineau, Quebec yesterday, the first of 3 meetings with Indigenous groups. Lisa Laporte, The Canadian Press.
That is your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Way to go, Travis Kelce. I mean, son. As fun as it is watching your 5-year-old run the wrong way or pick dandelions on the football field, what if I told you you could watch your favorite sports or shows on the go anywhere? Well, you can with MaxStream TV from Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Take MaxStream anywhere you go. Oh, wrong way, buddy. MaxStream and great internet plans available at Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel, echosound.ca.
Let's get out on the water. Now is the best time of year to buy a boat or pontoon at Kevin's Marine. Cast a line in a Lund fishing boat. Take the family out on a Four Winds boat. Or head out on a pontoon by Harris or Crest. Powered by Mercury Motors at the lowest prices of the year. There are manufacturer's rebates, dealer discounts, and low payment financing on a great selection of boats and pontoons. Plus Shoremaster aluminum docks and lifts. Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel. Enjoy your summer. Get out on the water. Stop by or shop online at kevinsmarine.com.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection, Killer Looks, 1865 McCara Street. And Croft Electric, 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. CroftElectric.com, and you can find them on all socials.
Clear sky for tonight. We'll drop off to a low around 12. The wind fairly light, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, picking up a little bit through the day on Saturday. Also increasing, though, the cloud cover, and it brings in the chance of a shower by the tail end of the day. 26, the high on Saturday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms roll in for the overnight Saturday night, and some of those could become heavy at times, especially late night. Middle of the night through the overnight, and then the showers diminish again, low 16. Into Sunday, still a lot of cloudiness, just a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms, though. Into the afternoon, they become a little more numerous, but the bulk of the rainfall from this is going to be coming in Saturday night. Temperature 25 through the day. Spotty showers possible on Monday. A mix of sun and cloud overall. The high around 22. And we'll see most of the activity firing up well east of us. High pressure building back in through central parts of Saskatchewan. The high near 20 on Tuesday with the sunshine. With your 620 CKRM weather forecast, I'm Precision Weather Meteorologist Phil Spivak.
Croft Electric. You've probably heard of us because we've been around for over 27 years. We do commercial and residential work? Yes. We do permanent holiday lighting? Yes. We do cabins? Yes. And farms? Yes and yes. We're an authorized Generac generator dealer. We are a full-service electrical company with the experience and the people to service all of your electrical needs. We are Croft Electric. We will be here when you need us. Do it right, do it once. Follow us on all social and call 306-586-1333 to book.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCara Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to Hour 3 on this Friday. Hopefully your weekend's off to a great start. Maybe you got to work this weekend. That's all right as well. Colson's with me here. everything you missed in podcast form. If it was Luke, we're going to run that again here in a bit as he's in the air now on his way to Vancouver. Bruce Boudreau in hour 2. That was fun. We also heard from Tommy Neal from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Luke Cote, who won the Saskatchewan Men's Amateur Championship, all in podcast form. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline, not keep them waiting. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings. See what the special is at the Western Pizza nearest you. Scott Schultz is back on the program, joining us from Moose Jaw. Schultz, how's the insurance biz going over there for you? I see you're still in the office.
Yeah, just in my little home office / gym out in White City, perched atop, and just excited. We're going to have a big day tomorrow in Creelman. The old Creelman Parade's going on. So Lakeview Insurance, myself will be down there throwing little footballs and candies to the kids. The
Creelman Parade. I love it. Yeah, they allow you to throw candy because now in this culture, at some parades you can't throw candy. I always liked. I know we go to Whitefish, Montana, in the 4th of July parade. They throw freezies. Smart veteran move.
Oh yeah,
some freezy action out
it's
there.
All, you know what? I'm used to being in BC place where they throw batteries and Skittles at you, so it don't matter to me. We've got some good gum and candies and an assortment of goodies for the old kiddos.
Throw out a dip to some of the old timers standing by as well. But don't give anybody ideas about throwing batteries too. Geez, that's you see that back in the day. It was the Major League Baseball, the battery giveaway that one team did. What an idea that was. Speaking of football games, let's rewind to last week. How do you dissect?
Oh, yeah.
How do you look at that smoke delay, everything that happened there? As a guy that's played in the league, probably haven't seen anything like that where you get delayed till another day.
No, I participated in that blackout game, and if you remember, I punted the ball into the stands after a blocked punt, and then all the lights went out. So I get it. I get how that can be frustrating. I was actually in the stands up in the AGT lounge. We made it till about 10 o'clock, and it was nice and cozy up there. But again, you hope for the best, and I get that what the team's doing. The team, they need to play the game, and they're waiting it out, and the criticism is just communication, keep it going, and it's tough dealing with those wildfires.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you think though, and the players union steps in, the older guys, right? Like Trevor Harris kind of mentioned it. Like you want us to warm up at 11:30 at night and then go and play. For the older guys, we're running into a little bit of detriment on the old body.
I know, but it's all part of it. And again, I went to the game on Saturday at 2:00, and it was wild. I mean, it was a stark contrast from the night before. Low personnel and not a lot to offer there. But the game was good and started out good anyways, and we can get into that. But I was happy just to get there again. But it's one of those things where you got to look out for player safety. A lot of things went into the loss. I think we'll get into that a little bit. But it is what it is. I mean, no one had any better information than anybody else, and everyone was kind of waiting to see what happened. At those times, you're kind of just a slave to the situation, and you got to just wait till it shakes out.
What didn't you like about the Rider game last week on Saturday?
Well, listen, I've got a little bit of a following on the old X platform there, and I don't really post a ton on there. And I actually tweeted, like, I'm liking this defense. It's looking like early 2000s in the first quarter there. It was bend but don't break, and then they'd make a huge play. They get a turnover, right? Then they force a fumble. Then we get another pick. And then it just came back, and it was egg on my face because, we stalled out on offense and had some trouble on teams, and it didn't work out for us. But in the early beginnings of the game there, I was excited and to see where things were going, and then as it played out, it just couldn't get there.
Luke mentioned this in hour one because I asked him. He's a big play man guy, and it's easy to say it's not a video game. You can't play man all the time, right? Where do you land on that? Are you feeling that the Riders are playing a little bit too much zone?
Yeah, it's one of those situations, Barney, when like you do it until it doesn't work anymore. And I think, you go 4-0, things are good, and all those games, there were some challenges that they worked through to get the win. And you get settled in and then you get up against an opponent like Calgary who puts the challenge on you, and you see that some things didn't work. So I have all the confidence in their defensive personnel and their defensive coaching staff to take a look at that stuff. And, let's get out of let's get out of zone a little bit. Then you can see it. Like it's gaping when, people kind of get vapor locked in their zone and, there's a guy goes through and makes big plays. So, everyone saw that, okay, tip the cap on Saturday.
Is there a guy defensively that you've liked this year? Maybe that's, kind of came out of his shell a bit?
It's not so much like a new guy or any of that, but I like their nose tackle number 4 and or their tackle.
Johnson.
God, his name is escaping me right now.
Johnson.
Yes, Johnson. And the thing with him is, if you look at his career and you look at what he's done, he's had some big impact on clubs, certainly on the Roughriders. And you see, he's gone out to Hamilton. He's come back. He's a guy that is just quietly doing his job. It's not super sexy with a ton of pressure or sacks or big plays, but his leverage and the way that he plays to the ball and the pressure he does put on the pocket, you don't see it in a freak out where he's chasing the guy out of the pocket, but it's that steady leverage that's helping. And I think once we keep coming with the ends, it's going to sort itself out.
Wild. If I would have told you Friday or Saturday that, hey, AJ Ouellette's going to end up with under 10 yards, you probably would have slapped me. You would have been like, get out of my face. Wasn't that wild, that stat line? And how they didn't kind of, I guess Calgary, like they always say, they're getting paid as well. We couldn't run the ball, and they went away from it. I was surprised. I'm surprised they didn't use Carey more.
Yeah. I think, when you're in the frying pan and things are hot and cooking, sometimes coaches get into a certain track and you leave it up to them. But again, I personally thought that they went away from the run a little bit. And, that's what a big thing that I want to see tomorrow night is can we get back in a rhythm? It seems the Riders are great when we've got the running game going and you can kind of play off of those things. It does remind me of back in the day, a little bit of the, Henry Burris, Joffrey Reynolds, where you could run and pass and do what you wanted. And when we do that as a team and have that success, it looks very good for us. And then you saw, as we saw, on last Saturday, if you don't get that, that's in sync, it can be a long night.
Sam Emelis is back tomorrow, which is great to hear. Trevor Harris too, though, right? Like it wasn't the first half that anybody wanted, but then he starts slinging it in the second half for his age and what he's doing. We talked about it last year as well. The guy, he can read defenses. He gets rid of the ball quick, and he was taking what they were giving him.
Well, I think he's over 400 yards, was he not?
Yeah.
And again, his experience, his age, he's had some injuries here and there and things that have kept him out. But again, they're all things that he seems to have been recovering from. And when he does get on the field, he seems to show up. So it's just a matter, again, it's so early still. You're talking, we're into the sixth game. Things don't start really heating up till that game 9, mid-season, Labor Day action, or whenever the mid-season is. I know the schedule has adjusted a little bit, but, it's hard for the fanship when they hear, it's too early, but it is, guys. It really is. And you're going to see us go out and compete with a tough BC Lions teams that's 3-3 trying to get back into the standings here.
What worries you about that game tomorrow, maybe going into BC?
The biggest thing is we got to reestablish that run game and clean up the red zone scoring. I mean, there's missed chances that caught week, and I think that again, it's not rocket science. They know of the missed chance. It's not like, I can't believe that we didn't score, or shucks, we didn't get it in. They know exactly what the problem is or what the breakdown was. I shouldn't say there's a problem. They know exactly where things broke down. And believe you me, it's been addressed. And then it's just a matter of, can those soldiers on the field play it out for the coach's plan?
Are you surprised they haven't tried to at least bring somebody in maybe to kick some footballs behind Brett?
Yeah, again, there's a lot of moving parts and what they're able and what they can do. And I'm sure, they're looking at all of their options, and week in, week out, they're trying to put the best team on the field. And so it's that one, you just kind of wait. You got to kind of wait and see a little bit. But, the last 5 meetings, the Riders were 3-2. We beat them in week 4. Off of the strength of 3 turnovers. So there's that big playability and being able to capitalize on other teams' mistakes. We got to get back to that. And I just think we've got to challenge BC's secondary with mid-range and vertical routes for sure, because what you said about how Harris is able to kind of get in a groove, that's where we're going to be able to exploit those guys.
The league as a whole, like, what biggest surprise for you? Has it been Calgary?
Yes. The biggest, I think for me, the biggest has been Calgary. And then actually, even more so, right now, at this moment, if you take the temperature of the league, all 9 teams, anybody can beat anybody right now. And it really, that's a fact. And as things work themselves out, I think you're gonna start seeing the front runners. But right now, it's pretty juicy across everywhere. Like it's pretty equal, and anybody, I have that feeling that any team can win any night right now, and to me, that's a good thing. That's entertaining.
Tonight, like, I don't think I could try to. I don't know if I've ever been more intrigued. I'll push excited, and I'm going to bet on it. Calgary in Winnipeg. Sold out.
Oh, yeah.
What was the stat? Somebody texted in the stat that the Bombers, Gary in Winnipeg, Bombers are 17-0 coming out of a bye. But what an intriguing matchup. This upstart Stamps team sold out Winnipeg. Winnipeg looking for revenge. Perfect Friday night football for the league.
Well, I think this is exactly the kind of game. The only thing that would be better is if there's a Rough Rider team involved in it. But again, you take the Riders out of the equation, there's so much pressure that's put on our organization to carry this league sometimes when there are ups and downs, and it's always looked at the Riders. It's great to see that a club, even though it pains me to say it, they've had their successes in Winnipeg and they've taken some of that load over, and it's expanded the game. It's starting to rejuvenate their fan base over the last 5 years, and they say that they're rivaling ours, but really we've led the way, and they're just getting up to that level. And I think it's exciting and a big plus for the CFL.
It's a different time, and I've talked about this. I haven't asked you this question, but it's 2025, and we're somewhat in the same demographic. And I was talking when Ryan Pollock was in on Monday, and I said, you know what? In the 80s or 90s, early 2000s, we were all in school, and our buddies were in school. We didn't have cottages and boats and different things like that. Nowadays, it seems like, you have to have a cottage, or someone's got to have this or whatever. So going to a football game kind of becomes, well, I'll get there if I can. What's your take on the crowds that we're seeing this year here at Mosaic?
Yeah, it's odd times, right? I mean, there's lots of things that are going on that are pulling people in all different directions. There's vacationing, there's all the rest of it. But there's real tough times going on in our world right now. Tough times in Canada, tough times in the United States, and all those pressures. And then there's the overriding technological development of our world that we live in, Barn. And things are changing. And it's different because I don't know if it's being measured the same way, but like, the people that show up in the stands in the past, is there the same amount of interest? It's just that they're consuming the game through multiple different ways. There's in person, there's online, there's on platforms, there's all the rest of it. So it is a weird and interesting time, but the old adage still wins, Barney. If we are winning, the people will show up, and the fan base can sometimes be fickle, but if you give them what they want, and that's wins and consistent football play, they will show up. And I think we're getting there. I mean, the Riders have had to battle back with their attendance the last couple of years, and I think they're getting there. They're 4-1, and if we win, it's just going to keep propelling us.
FOMO, fear of missing out in this province. We're big on that. So people, hey, I got to get to the Rider game. They're watch the playoffs happen and all that. All right, Schultz. So any tips or tricks for tomorrow? Anyone going to the Creelman parade to get extra candy? Any throw anything out? Any surprises?
If any Rider support, will get extra big handfuls from these mitts right here. But I guess but just again, keys to victory tomorrow. I mean, we got to revive our running game. We've got to challenge BC's secondary. We definitely got to win the turnover battle. That's a given on every game. But again, last game against them in week 4 is 16 points off of the takeaways, and we got to protect the quarterback. And so we'll see if we can do that. And if Harris has the protection, he's great at figuring out these defenses and distributing the ball.
Very much so. And I think part of me, though, I think special teams could play a factor. Is it one of those games where Lawther gets back rolling, boots him up, and then we got, Alford out, so we got DRE returning kicks. Very curious to see what he does.
Well, always exciting when a new kick returner gets back there, because you just never know. It's the power of the moment and what can happen, and you just never know if it's going to be the next Gizmo Williams, right? For those old timer fans that are listening.
Gizmo, man, we brought up Gizmo a lot in the last few weeks on this show. Maybe a Willis J. Cox reference is needed. As well. Schultz, thanks so much for doing this. Have fun at the parade tomorrow. Lakeview Insurance, You're always up for a coffee, right, with people?
Always up for a coffee and a call. Give me a shout.
Right on. There is Rider legend Scott Schultz joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Lakeview Insurance. If you're looking for some insurance in and around farms, anything like that, no better guy to talk to. You can sit and talk Rider football and get it going. And if you're at the Creelman parade tomorrow, yell extra loud. Those big mitts will be chucking out some special treats for you. We start things here tomorrow at 2 p.m. the Rider Broadcast Network. Full slate of action here. I got the rundown right here. Countdown to kickoff with Dunk, Tegan, and Wes. Some of their guests: University of Saskatchewan alumnus Nathan Cherry, who plays for the BC Lions. Kent Majuri, Saskatchewan Roughriders offensive coordinator, is going to join. Rider legend and fan on this show, Glenn Suter, Jeff Fairholm, and they're going to talk about Darian Durant as well. So it all starts at 2 p.m. right here on the Rider Broadcast Network. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. And we're guaranteed almost that it will go at 5 p.m. The day after kill time last week. I don't think people understand that it's difficult. And then it's like, until you're kicked into that fire, that is a lot of time to burn. Still more to come on the show. We are going to hear again from Luke Mullander if you missed it. Also, Prairie Golf Gems are going with another nice little 9-holer in Saskatchewan. I had no idea this course and the water around it. It is beautiful. So still more to come. It is a Sports Cage. Streaming as always. Colson says thanks to everyone who's streaming. Hit that like button at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Look over here, apples. Now look over here, oranges. Let's compare them.
Hey, you can't compare apples and oranges. What you can compare is Freeze Tallman's pricing on decking, railing, and fencing to all the big box stores.
If you need a decking, railing, or fencing job this season and want to shop local, then Freeze Tallman in Regina and Fort Capel is exactly what you're looking for. Heck, they even deliver. There's no comparison.
Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Nelson Homes is having a summer blowout sale on quick possession homes that you don't want to miss out on. Get free delivery anywhere in Saskatchewan on select in-stock show homes and spec home RTMs. For more information, visit their website, homes.nlc.ca. Or for general information, call 1-800-661-6534. That's the Nelson Homes Summer Blowout Sale. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
At the cabin or on the farm, Access Rural Internet gives you speed and service you can rely on. Right now, get Access Rural Internet for as low as $69.95 a month for 24 months, including free service calls by our local techs, a free Wi-Fi router, and a strong, reliable signal matched by our strong, reliable customer service. Great service is never far away with Access Rural Internet. Visit myaccess.ca to book your free site survey.
Hey, you down there. Yeah, it's me, the sun. Been up here doing my thing for, 4.6 billion years or so, and you're still paying full price for power? Come on. Get a Keln Solar residential system. Use me to power your AC, your fridge, your whatever that thing is in your garage. Help me help you. What movie's that from? Anyway, when you've got extra power, Sask Power gives you credits. Jerry Maguire, that's what that line's from.
Get a quote at kelnsolar.com. The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50/50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC.
Hey, let's hit up Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Pump? You talking about my basketball shoes?
No, Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Who?
Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. They're open now. They've got a large selection of local draft and food and drink specials. Kids are allowed until 8. There's live entertainment every weekend.
Let's go. I'm pumped.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
The certified pre-owned vehicle demand is high and our supply is low. We need your trade-in at Capital GMC. We have 180 certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Be sure to check out employee pricing on all pre-owned vehicles, with rates as low as 4.99 for up to 60 months on select GM certified vehicles. And a great selection, plus 150 plus point inspection and roadside assistance. Capital GMC is the GM certified pre-owned vehicle destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina, where we go the extra mile and so do our vehicles.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Dinner served.
What's this?
Pizza.
Looks like cardboard.
It is. Cut into a circle.
What?
Hope you're hungry.
You wouldn't order cardboard for dinner, and that's not what you get when you order from Western Pizza.
Think I'll order Western Pizza.
They've got their pizza down to perfection. Western Pizza. Big on toppings, big on taste. Dine in or takeout. Order today.
And get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Riders Lions tomorrow night, or tomorrow late afternoon, 5 p.m. AJ Allen, and he thinks it's going to be a different BC team compared to 3 weeks ago.
I mean, the whole game changes with a different quarterback, so it's a matter of preparing for what's going to happen. Obviously, it can't be the same playbook when you have someone like Nathan Rourke down. So it's learning. It's learning, right? They played 2 games after that, so obviously things have changed and new tendencies, new things like that. So it's just for us to prepare and be ready.
Real interesting one tonight. Calgary in Winnipeg. Western Canadian Baseball League. Regina's in Okotoks. They lost 9-3 last night, the All-Star game, and that one goes tomorrow. Jays are back playing hardball at home against San Francisco today. Provincial Amateur Golf Championships from Humboldt. Chloe Wills won on the women's side over Ella Kozak. And then today, Luke Cote from Regina wins on the men's side. He's got his name on the junior and now the amateur trophy, 2 prestigious trophies.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like this trophy's got 1908 stamped on it, so it's got a lot of history, and so does the junior. There's a lot of names of Sask Golf Hall of Famers on those trophies. So it's just so much history. It's really cool to win something like the Saskam. Growing up here, obviously, it's always been a goal of mine. So it feels really good to check that off the list.
The Regina team that's in Canton, Ohio, competing at the 2025 NFL Flag Championships, they are 4-0. They're into the quarterfinals. Tomorrow they'll take on the Germans. And over at the Open in Ireland, Scotty Scheffler. Guy loves to win. He's -7. Matt Fitzpatrick, 2 back at -5. That is your sports ticker in hour 3 for Steelcraft Doors Regina. Made in Western Canada for Western Canadians are now into their 40,000 square foot showroom. If you need a garage door, they got it. Prairie Golf Gems still to come. We're going to hear from Luke Mullander from hour 1 as well as we get ready for the game tomorrow. Prairie Golf Gems, Colson, another 9-holer. As soon as we run it, we're going to have people texting in 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line on another course that we should do. So we love that. Let us know. People out there, Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where you get to deal with the owner, and they can rent you almost anything. Sportscage continues in a moment. We're streaming at sportscage.com.
Squeeze the most out of summer with deals from the Hook, Line, and Sunshine Sale. On now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Whether you're camping, tailgating, or hanging out in your backyard, cook up a summer feast with the ultra-portable Cabela's one-burner tabletop griddle. Now $60 off. Plus, save 30% on men's and women's reef sandals while quantities last. Grab your ticket to summer fun at the Hook, Line, and Sunshine Sale. On now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. See store for more details.
Look over here, apples. Now look over here, oranges. Let's compare them.
Hey, you can't compare apples and oranges. What you can compare is Freeze Tallman's pricing on decking, railing, and fencing to all the big box stores. If you need a decking, railing, or fencing job this season and want to shop local, then Freeze Tallman in Regina and Fort Capel is exactly what you're looking for. Heck, they even deliver. There's no comparison.
Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Nelson Homes is having a summer blowout sale on quick possession homes that you don't want to miss out on. Get free delivery anywhere in Saskatchewan on select in-stock show homes and spec home RTMs. For more information, visit their website, homes.nlc.ca. Or for general information, call 1-800-661-6534. That's the Nelson Homes Summer Blowout Sale. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
At the cabin or on the farm, Access Rural Internet gives you speed and service you can rely on. Right now, get Access Rural Internet for as low as $69.95 a month for 24 months, including free service calls by our local techs, a free Wi-Fi router, and a strong, reliable signal matched by our strong, reliable customer service. Great service is never far away with Access Rural Internet. Visit myaccess.ca to book your free site survey.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Employee pricing is back at Capital GMC in Regina.
Capital GMC!
But what does it all mean?
You pay what we pay.
And it means savings up to $12,000 on new Sierra 1500s and savings up to $20,000 on new HDs. Or take advantage of 0% financing on select models. Or check out our certified pre-owned inventory. They all come with 30-day exchange privilege, manufacturer's warranty, and more.
Do not miss employee pricing
at Capital GMC in Regina.
Your Co-op Grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology. to help support your entire farm operation. Talk to our team for advice tailored to your farm's needs. We have recommendations to help you optimize your crop yield and quality while enhancing the health of your land. Co-op. We're all growing together. Here for your farm. Here for your family. Learn more at coop.crs/farm.
This summer, if you're thinking of a new building, think Olympic Buildings. They're engineered from top to bottom to be better than the rest. Strength, solid design, and impressive good looks are all standard on an Olympic farm building. Visit olympic-buildings.ca.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. If it's happening in sports in Saskatchewan, we've got it covered on Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. On your radio at 620 CKRM and online at sportscage.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage, the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, whether you're watching on the stream at sportscage.com or listening on 620 CKRM. Thanks for making some time today. It is our Prairie Golf Gem segment for Flooring Superstores in Regina. Hey, if you got an insurance claim, hot tip. Your contractor probably going to want you to go get flooring through his guy or through him. You don't have to. You can go shop wherever you want. Trent Dickin and his team at Flooring Superstore, I recommend. They're local. They support local. They've been in business for over 20 years. They can help you out, strike you a deal. And then if you're a do-it-yourselfer, the cash and carry prices can't be beat because they buy in such big bulk. Flooring Superstores in Regina, the sponsor of Prairie Golf Gems. There's been a number that we've done so far this year that I have never played, and do I want to play them? Here's another one. The last time we ran, we had a couple of people message in on the Prairie Land Rentals text line and say, hey, what about Thompson Lake Golf Course? Thompson Lake. Then I saw some pictures of it. Someone sent in an aerial view, and I'm like, well, this isn't in Saskatchewan. Oh, yeah, it is. It's right near La Flèche, Saskatchewan. It's right on the lake. So I said, we got to showcase this. Another 9-banger, 9 holes, grass, greens. So this week on Prairie Golf Gems for Flooring Superstores, it's Thompson Lake. Fawn Weisgerber joining us from the Thompson Lake Golf Course. I have never played it. One of the ones I've never played that we've done. This is really cool to kind of explore this. So Fawn, it's near La Flèche, Saskatchewan, Thompson Lake Regional Park. What do you, when you explain the golf course to people that have never been there or coming down, how do you explain it?
Well, it's a beautiful 9-hole golf course. We have 2 separate tee boxes if you're playing 18. It's called the hybrid tee system. And we also have markers for the longest tees and then the shortest tees as well. It's very unique that on hole 5, 6, 7, and 8, the lake is right on your left side. So there's a lot of beautiful views. Number 5 is one of my favorite holes. It's a par 5, and you follow the lake. And at the end where the green is, it's just lake all surrounding it. You see boats go by, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's funny you say that, because one of the texts that we got in had an aerial view of the golf course and saying you guys should look up Thompson Lake. And I'm looking at the aerial view right now on Google Maps. And,
okay.
And I was like, I don't think this is in Saskatchewan. I don't know where they're sending me a picture of, but like you said, those holes are right on the water, very unique. Now, I'm sure it's 9 holes. Is it busy all throughout the summer because you do have the park there?
Yes, it gets very busy. We call it our 6-week run. It starts the very end of June and goes into, well, when harvest hits in August. But yes, with all the swimming lessons in the park, we have, I think, 180 seasonal sites, cabin owners, homeowners, and then the day camping as well. So it gets, in the wintertime, there's maybe 300, if that live here. A lot go south for the winter. Mm-hmm. But on a summer's weekend, we could have over 3,000 in the park. So it gets very busy. That's great. What's the history of the course? How long has it been around? Was it sand greens at one point kind of thing? Well, it started when the park is the first regional park that got its regional park number 1. It was the first regional park in Saskatchewan, Thompson Lake Regional Park, and it became a park. They dammed the Wood River up and made it a recreational and agricultural area. So they started, yes, the golf course. I wasn't here at the time. I don't remember if it was sand greens to water the greens and fairways. When they started, they had a combine that would, the motor by the lake, and when it ran out of gas, that was all the water the golf course got. It would pump from that motor running. So the clubhouse has moved from on the edge of 5 over to where it is now, and they changed a few holes around. A great clubhouse kitchen downstairs, fine dining down there. And yes, we're upstairs
right
for the pro shop. Mm-hmm.
What about events throughout the summer? Are there any major tournaments, anything that we should showcase as far as events?
We have quite a few tournaments through the summer. We do through July and August. There's no tournaments on Saturdays and Sundays, just because of all the extra park traffic. Mm-hmm. Then we do have a big birthday party coming up for Alvin Mitchell. He's golfed here for many years. He golfs 18 holes a day, rain, shine, wind, heat, and we'll be celebrating his 100th birthday on July 25th. So we'll have a big party on the deck that day.
That guy. So let me get this straight here for a second. Here, he's turning 100 and he plays 18 holes a day.
Yes, 18 holes a day. He's got a couple other friends that are not quite that old, but in their 80s that usually join him.
Alvin Mitchell. Wow.
He's an amazing man. Very sharp.
Makes me feel extremely lazy. That
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that is quite the event. Now, when people, or maybe let's go. Do you have the rates in front of you? I'm sure there's a 9-hole and 18-hole, and then carts and all that. What can you tell people about that?
Right. So a 9-hole round is $32. An 18-hole round is $50, and the carts are the same, $32 for 9 holes and $50 for 18 holes. If it's just one person playing, of course, we just charge the half a seat.
Gotcha.
On the golf cart. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if people are coming down and they're maybe don't have a camper or they don't want a tent or whatever, where should they stay in and around the area?
Well, they could get a hotel room or a motel room in either Gravelbourg or La Flèche. We have Airbnbs here, the Blue Pheasant. Mm-hmm. There's a few of those. They book up a long time in advance, so you have to be on the bit with those. Other than, Assiniboia is fairly close. It's only half an hour away, and they have more lodging there as well.
Okay, and then the all-important question, if people are thinking about going down, should they just go on Google and look up the phone number? What is the phone number, or can you book online as well?
You can book online through Tion if you have a Tion number, yes. But the phone number here is 306-472-5686.
Right on, Fawn. Well, I appreciate you shedding some light on the Thompson Lake Golf Course. It does look beautiful. So many cool little 9-hole courses in this province. It's awesome to showcase. Thanks for making some time today.
Yes, I hope everyone comes and enjoys our little gem in the south here.
Right near La Flèche, Saskatchewan, Thompson Lake Golf Course. Nice to find out more on that place. You can search it up on Google. They don't have a website, but Thompson Lake Regional Park does, and then the number will pop up. And like she said, you can book on Tion. Thanks to Flooring Superstores in Regina for sponsoring Prairie Golf Gems. You got an insurance claim, you can go wherever you want for your flooring. Flooring Superstores will help you. And don't forget about their cash and carry. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, their prices can't be beat on cash and carry. They've been in business for over 20 years. Flooring Superstores in Regina, the sponsor of Prairie Golf Gems. It is the Sports Cage. We are the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. We're streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
Take a trip down memory lane. Weekdays at 1 o'clock with Colin Lovequist. Number Ones at 1. A full hour of country's greatest hits and the stories behind them. We'll take a look back at musical milestones, celebrate some country music birthdays, and a whole lot more. It's all brought to you by McBids and North Home Windows in Foam Lake. Number Ones at 1 with Colin Lovequist on the Voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Congratulations on your recent graduation. If becoming a registered nurse is in your future, complete your entire University of Saskatchewan Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree in 10 locations in Saskatchewan. If you choose another career path, apply the credits you